Test. Test. 1, 2. Just making sure my fucking levels are good. I ain't done this shit in like 2 fucking months. Alrighty. Go ahead and fucking get this shit out there for people. Oh, I need to get my camera working again. That's what I need to do. Don't y'all think? There for people. Oh, I need to get my camera working again. That's what I need to do. Don't y'all think? What I need to do. My audio levels are sounding good. Oh, God. Now if I could just get on Facebook and share the link that, like, fucking nobody will click on because Facebook's algorithms have fucked my post reach. Trying to get this to as many of you guys as I can, but it doesn't want to let me. Fucking everybody is fashionably late. Meanwhile, you could just go ahead and fucking tell me how you're doing. I'm talking to you guys who, well, nobody's watching my shit. But in the future. Fuck. I need to get Quack in here, and I need to get fucking... I need to get fucking 2.0 in here because he said he was going to come too. We will not be having taco tonight because he has to be at work, which is terribly unfortunate, but I straight up do have a lot of news for some of you guys. I'm sure fucking everybody else does too. So when we get the people in here, hey, what's up, Master Rogue Assassin? That name's pretty badass. Master Rogue Assassin. Hooyah! What screen do I want this on? I guess I can put Discord on the top corner and yeah, okay. So we have my monitor here, my little Rolodex for pulling shit up. We got fucking Jig in the comments with the popcorn emoji and Master. We got the Master Assassin. I need to sick him on somebody. How much do you charge, bro? Just kidding. I handle my own problems. So, where to begin? Actually, I probably should look at material or submissions or something. I'm sure people have been putting shit in there. And I just haven't fucking been looking at it because... No, nobody's been putting shit in there. Well, all right. Wait, no. Well, no, we have material from, previously in October that I haven't gone over because I haven't done a Kekfest in like 2 months. I think last time I was doing a Kekfest, I got fucking fired from my job. So, let's see what we have going on here. I don't know how up to date this is gonna be. Let's see, we got Solar Apocalypse. I'm skipping the deaths because that's old news. Am I gonna be streaming? I mean, I am streaming, right? Oh, the new Halo? Fuck. If y'all want me to, I will. Sure. Why not? I've been playing the fuck out of Halo lately, and I, should be streaming it, but I haven't been.
Hospitalman Siemens recruit Quacksaw Ribs reporting for duty.
What's going on, boy?
Fucking was watching some football, but Kekfest calls.
I'm going through some of the material here as we speak.
Dude, as long as it's been since we've done one of these things, I'm sure there's probably months.
Well, I'm skipping a lot of it.
Just skip what looks dumb.
Dude, legit, I'm just going through materials. I'm not even looking at I did look at submissions and there's nothing there.
Yeah, it's because it gave Bryce the ability to put it in material.
So,
he was the only person that really ever put shit in fucking submissions. He's the article guy, remember?
Honestly, we haven't done one of these in so long, I fucking don't.
Yeah,
bro,
that was part of why I voted it to Bod was to he was the official Kekfest article.
Trying to fucking get the damn I'm having a hard time fucking thinking. Trying to get the damn fucking live stream going on was such a nightmare. I'm gonna have to rebuild everything in OBS again.
Rip. It's been that long.
It's been that long that fucking everything's like out of date and I have to like redo a bunch of shit.
I know, it's kind of crazy. Like, I just like, dude, it seems like everybody just had to take like a few months break from just everything.
Dude, that's what it's been like. Like, okay, on the last fucking Kekfest, I wanted to stream like a lot because I knew that I was about to lose my job and I was about to take like a month off of work. But when I was talking about all that streaming, I wasn't taking into consideration exactly how mentally fucking burned out on like just life I was.
For sure.
Like on some straight up shit, I sat here in front of my computer for a week, not doing anything but staring at the screen. Like, I hadn't even played a game. I was just staring at the screen, trying to figure out what the fuck I was going to do. And then... Do what?
I said, I've had like a day or two like that here and there, but never like a fucking solid week.
And then I went on a motorcycle trip to Colorado where I damn near killed myself twice.
Oh yeah, because of that bull.
Well, yeah, you know about that, but nobody else does.
Oh, you didn't tell anyone else about it?
Well, I have. What I mean by nobody else is like nobody who's listening to this.
Oh.
And I haven't finished editing the video footage yet, so I haven't been able to publish it. So, aside from like my most tight-knit circle of people, nobody fucking knows dick about it.
Rip.
And that was a completely fucking... Oh, come on. Fuck you, Spotify. That was some completely fucking... Okay. Maybe I should talk about that. So... I've been wanting to go to Colorado for a long time. Like, I've been to Denver. Like, you know, in the airport and like that area around the airport, but I haven't been to Colorado like proper. And I can say, having been all over the fucking state with absolute authority, that just because you've been to Denver does not mean you've been to Colorado. Because, like, there are a couple of bigger cities in Colorado, like Denver and Colorado Springs and Pueblo, and I've been to all of those. But once you leave the city, it's a completely different fucking world. And there were things that I saw there in Colorado that absolutely just blew my fucking mind. So, and, you know, something me and my friend Brandon were wanting to do. So I went and, you know, me and him went down to Oklahoma, down to OKC, and fucking, I bought a motorcycle down there. A Honda ST 1300. Now, mind you, this is, you know, a used bike. And I don't really know very much at this point about the nuances of this bike. In fact, I wasn't even aware of the model number of this bike. Like, my friend fucking found it. And he's like, yeah, this is a really good deal. You should check it out. And he sent me the fucking thing on Facebook Marketplace. So I took a look at it. And I come to find the guy's selling the bike for like half of its actual value. And it doesn't appear to have any mechanical bullshit going on with it. So, like, all right, you know, it's got 22,000 miles on it, which is pretty good for a sport touring bike. Like, all right, let's go check it out. So we go down there, and we paid $2,500 for this ST 1300, which, in its current state, is worth somewhere in the neighborhood of $6,000. And that night when we get back, I throw insurance on the fucking thing, and we do some general like maintenance. We've been going through some generalized maintenance with the bike, you know, changing the oil, making sure the brake pads are good, and changing the fork seals, and, you know, preventative maintenance type shit. So I go and take it upon myself to, just start getting shit for the bike and thinking about where we want to go in Colorado. And I don't have a whole lot of time at this point to work on the bike because a different friend came into town, so I was spending time with them. And my friend Brandon kept working on the fucking thing, and he cleaned off the brake pads and put the forks back on the bike and that jazz. And we didn't find out until later that he didn't torque the bolt for the front brake pad down correctly. I'll get into that. So within 5 days of owning this bike, like I have the bike 5 days later on a used bike that at this point I haven't driven for more than like a mile. Like I legit don't know dick about this fucking bike. We're going, on a 1,900, 2,000 mile road trip. Tell me that this isn't the premise for a movie, Like, what was that movie when they had the fucking camper and the guy didn't know dick about campers and like fucking everything went wrong? What was that movie, Quack?
You mean RV?
Yeah, I think.
With Robin Williams?
Yeah, with Robin Williams.
And he's trying to do like the business in between it, and then he ends up fucking like with the RV sinking into the lake, and he had like fucked off to his meeting.
Yep.
That's RV.
Yeah, this trip was comparable to what you would imagine like that movie would be like. So on the first day, we're leaving Kansas. We're taking Highway 50, and this is on a Thursday. And we're riding through fucking gale force, fucking hurricane winds. I kid you not, it's blowing like 50, 60 miles an hour from the north, and we're headed west. So it's like I'm riding this bike sideways, going straight. Like, you know how the fucking MotoGP racers and shit are in like a turn, all leaned over with their fucking knee out and shit? Like, I look like that going down Highway 50, which, for those of you guys who have been on Highway 50, it has to be one of the most boring stretches of road known to man.
Oh my god, dude, it is the most fucking annoying shit as being a driver driving down the 50.
Now and it's even worse because working for my tower climbing company, there was a time where like every day for like 3 weeks it was just Highway 50. So
I read a fucking story, and I don't know if it was true, but I heard that there was a real bad fucking thing on that highway one time, because apparently, like, some fucking people were like, I forget what they were transporting, but they had to use that highway because it was like the easier route for them. And one person fucking fell asleep, dude, and it made like a fucking big ass crash.
I don't doubt it. I can tell you.
And when they interviewed the guy and they asked like what happened, the guy said, he was like, dude, the road is so fucking boring to drive on that I fell asleep.
I have taken many naps on that road. I'm not even going to sit here and act like I haven't. I will be on the Highway 50 like nodding off. Like I'm acting like I'm nodding off as if there's a fucking camera here that works. but like I'm fucking nodding off, right? And it's like from the fucking shoulder, the little cuts they put in there, and I wake up and I'm like, oh fuck, oh shit, I'm actually driving. All right. Well, the road was a lot less boring with fucking 60-mile-an-hour gale force winds. And when we rode out of that storm, it was like the remnants of some hurricane that hit Tennessee, I think. As we rode out of that fucking storm, it looked really fucking apocalyptic. Like, there were gaps in the clouds that the sun was shining through, and I could have snapped a picture and made some poster about how you're sitting in darkness and fucking God is coming into your life or whatever. Just with how the lighting was. And so we ride through that for a little bit until it starts to get dark, and Brandon's just kind of like, fuck this, I don't want to look for a place to camp in the dark. So we're going to stay in a hotel in fucking Dodge City. So we went to the casino there, and we ate at the restaurant inside the casino. And I'm not sure. Like, okay, it wasn't a bad steak. But I'm not sure. I'm not totally... Huh?
Your damn steaks, man.
I am not entirely convinced that it was worth the $60 I spent.
Which hotel did you say you stayed at?
The one that's right next to the casino in Dodge City, Kansas.
Okay.
So from there, we took Highway 50 even further west in the morning. We left at like 8 in the morning. We ended up in some Spanish town in Colorado that a couple hours later that I can't remember the name of it. La something. We stopped at the Walmart there. We got some snacks, and you know, our plan was to go to the Royal Gorge. Like that was our stop that we were going to that day, if things went our way. Lo and behold, things did not go our way. We got to Pueblo, Colorado. We stopped off to eat lunch at the Fazoli's there. My kickstand did not properly engage, and the bike fell over on its side, resulting in the breakage of both my highway peg and my actual foot peg on the fucking left side of the bike, which that left side foot peg is particularly important. So we took the foot peg off of the back side, the passenger foot peg. We went to the AutoZone that was right there, and we jury-rigged something so that like we could get down the road. And we went to some motorcycle shops, and we was trying to find a new foot peg. And none of the motorcycle shops in Pueblo had anything that would work.
Pueblo's a fucking shit city, and nobody can fucking disagree.
The traffic there really sucked.
That whole city sucks.
Yeah, well, we didn't waste time getting the fuck out of there.
Good.
So
there's a reason, like, literally, we will, if you ever have to come to Colorado from the south, if you have to stop for something, you should do your best to just try to fucking hold out as long as possible, like, and just get to Colorado Springs.
Speaking of Colorado Springs, That's the ultimate segue for the next part of this segment. We were no longer going to the Royal Gorge at this point because we found out from the motorcycle shop that there was supposed to be a motorcycle scrapyard in Colorado Springs. So I called them to verify that they would be open. They were. So offwards to Colorado Springs we went. And they were nice enough there, but when they say a scrapyard for motorcycles, they were not thinking of what I was thinking of. And so it ended up being a place that just had a bunch of Harley Davidson shit. We ended up finding something that would work, but yeah, that part of it kind of sucked.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It took us like, I don't know, 30 or 45 minutes to find something there that would work. So, I'm trying to find the name of the next place I stayed. It was something View. Yeah, like Good View or something. I don't know. It was right by the highway, though.
Which highway?
Fuck if I know. Like, after Colorado Springs, I'm not gonna front. After Colorado Springs, I completely lost my sense of direction. I was just following Brandon. But I'm pretty sure that we went west. Because we rode through a bunch of mountains. And, I can't find it. I'd have to ask him the name of the place. It was kind of a small town. It was kind of a small town, and so we went into the campground that was there. Now, we researched like what would be a good campground to go to, and we were kind of at a loss there because what we found was like this, like, okay, they're like, oh yeah, you can go fishing, you can go camping, you can like go into the stream and, you know, search for gold and all this other cool stuff. Like, it sold itself as a really nice campground. And it ended up being a really shitty campground by the fucking highway. Like, we roll up in there at like 7 o'clock at night. We had a bitch of a time finding our way into the place. So we roll in there at 7 o'clock at night, and the lady's like, oh yeah, to stay here it's gonna be like $38 unless you're a veteran. So I got my hopes up. I'm like, yeah, I'm a veteran. It's awfully convenient. She's like, oh, well then with your military discount it'll be $34. I'm like, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but what kind of discount is that? You know, like, that's kind of a backhanded thing. She's like, all right, well, yeah, it'll be $34. You can pay me in the morning. The office is closed right now. I was like, yeah, well, I mean, I have cash to pay you with right here, right now. Yeah, we're closed. Pay us in the morning. I've never had a campground tell me that. Like, well, all right then. So, I got like the worst sleep I have ever fucking had.
Uh-huh.
Because our campsite was right next to the goddamn highway and right next to the entrance to the campground. Was the little spot they put fucking for tents. So we have headlights shining in our tent all fucking night. Noise, sirens, fucking all that shit. Needless to say, I could have been a fucking presidential candidate for Saltland that night.
Mm-hmm.
If I wasn't the God King. I was salty enough that me and Brandon both came to the executive decision to pack up our campsite like we were planning on doing anyways, but skip the part where we pay them. So we left at like 8 in the morning. And we didn't pay, which is kind of a fucking gangsta ass thing, because most of the time when you go to a campsite and you don't pay, it's like you're leaving at like 6 in the morning before the camp staff are really up. But nope, that's not what we did. So from there we went to a place called Pagosa Springs.
Oh, that place is ass.
Do what?
I said I know that place. That place is ass.
I thought it was all right. On the way to Pagosa Springs, I almost killed myself. I was going faster through a turn than Brandon was. And his brake light wasn't functioning correctly. So I had the choice between fucking rear-ending him or fucking going onto the shoulder. I decided to go onto the shoulder, but on the shoulder there were all these fucking rocks that we had to fucking dodge. So, anyways, we went to Pagosa Springs, and in Pagosa Springs, we had two different things on our to-do list that had to get done. And we could handle them both right there in town. Those two things that absolutely had to get done consisted of going to a dispensary, because if you go to Colorado and you don't go to a dispensary, you're not doing it right. Even if you don't smoke or care about weed, just the experience of being able to go in and buy some, it's a liberating feeling. Almost as if that's, how the founding fathers intended for us to smoke. So anywho, then we went to the hot springs in Pagosa Springs. My friend was asking me while we were in the hot tub if there's something wrong with my bike. It's like, well, I don't know. At that point, somewhere in between our campsite and Pagosa Springs, my exhaust decided to fall off. So the bike had a really fucking weird sound. And I mentioned that, and then we found out my exhaust tip fell off. We put it back on, and down the road we went. We went from Pagosa Springs to Durango, where we ate lunch. Out of all of the places in Colorado that I went to, this particular area was the area that I personally enjoyed the most. Outside of Durango, we went to the San Juan National Forest to camp. We went, I want to say, about 20 miles north of Durango. And the San Juan National Forest is one of the most beautiful fucking things I have ever seen. It was just abso-fucking-lutely stunning. And I took some pictures. The San Juan National Forest is a whole other fucking chapter of this story, though. I think out of all of it, aside from maybe my foot peg falling off, this may be Quack's favorite chapter. I haven't told very many people about this. I don't think I've even told him. But, so we roll in there, right? And it's, Labor Day weekend. So there's no campgrounds open. At all. Nothing. The forestry guy there was really cool. God, I can't for the life of me remember the guy's name. But he was like an older guy, and he was really cool. And he ended up renting me and my friend a picnic area. And he's like, yeah, we don't have any firewood that we can sell you because people bought it all. And you're not technically supposed to, but if you go out in the woods and you find some stuff laying on the ground, you can go ahead and burn it up. You're not supposed to, but I'm not going to enforce that rule. And I have a couple of pieces of firewood that I can bring you later. And me and my friend are just like, man, this is the nicest dude ever. Like the nicest guy that we have met on the whole trip. And so I ended up having to go out into the woods like fucking probably like half a mile to find some dead tree stuff laying on the ground. Because apparently I'm not the only one who goes out into the woods to scavenge firewood. So I had to go the distance, that other people are not willing to. Let's see, if you ever go to a dispensary, y'all buy some just to do it right and give me the weed. Bet. I would drive my ass up to Concordia to get it. I have a story about the weed too. But I'll get to that in due time. Right now, I'm kind of on the San Juan Forest thing. The weed thing didn't really happen until I got back. So we go to our picnic area that we're using as a campground has a grill and not like a fire pit. So we go to a different picnic area in the park that has a fire pit. And we get this fire going good. Like we had flames probably going like 3 feet in the air. Fucking we were putting pine cones and branches and shit in it to make it burn even faster and hotter. And it was smoking up the whole fucking place. And this lady comes up And she's like, hey, yeah, if you guys could, like, chill out with the fire and, like, let it die down a little bit. It's burning a little hot and smoking some people out. Like, if you could, like, chill out, that would be really cool. And we're like, yeah, all right, no problem. And then she comes up to get even closer to us, and she, like, freaks the fuck out. She sees, like, some of our branches hanging over the side of the rim. Just a little bit, like, not even that much. And that shit was fucking, like, she just went ballistic. She started pulling our branches out of the fire and stomping shit out and, like, yelling at us about having our branches protruding from the fire rim. And then I'm like, at first I'm sitting there like, who's this bitch? And then I see the National Forestry fucking emblem on her jacket, and I'm just like, fuck. Like, I can't really say shit to her, you know, as badly as I want to. So Brandon's sitting there in his little fucking chair, not giving a fuck. And I'm sitting here trying to help her, like, make the fire how she wants it to, like, mitigate the fucking problem and de-escalate the situation. Which, mind you, de-escalation is not something I'm good at. It would have been a lot easier for me to grab her by her jacket and throw her in the fire. And the thought had crossed my mind. So she just gets real livid and she starts yelling at us and she's like, you can't burn these branches. They protrude from the fucking whatever and this and that and this and that. And yeah, you can't burn them. So I look at her, I'm like, all right, well, what if we cut them? She's like, well, if you cut them and they're not sticking beyond the rim, then you're good. I'm like, all right, I guess, fine. Well, Brandon has a trailer on his motorcycle, as I'd mentioned earlier. And he's the type of guy that, like, overpacks. Like, he brings, like, fucking everything. So I went rooting through his trailer, and I found the Milwaukee battery-powered chainsaw. Yeah, I found the fucking chainsaw, and I just started cutting these fucking pieces down, and lady looks at us like we're fucking crazy. It's like, what? You said we could cut it down. Like, you really have a chainsaw? Like, yeah. Why not? It fits. What? Did you think I was gonna get my fucking my pocket knife out and cut this shit? So we had the fire started up again, and then she started asking us where our campground was and trying to figure out if we're even supposed to be there. And we told her we're renting the fucking picnic area, and I don't remember the guy's name, so we'll just call him Mike. Like, Mike said that we could be here, and, you know, he brought us a couple of pieces of wood to burn, and, you know, it seemed like we were good to go. We're not here, like, trying to cause trouble or anything. And then, although Mike did not tell us that we could use that picnic area for fucking burning, we just kind of assumed we could and did it. This lady was fucking livid, and she went over and she started fucking bitching at Mike. And me and Brandon felt really fucking bad about this, because it's like this guy was being punished for doing a good deed by having to sit there and listen to this fucking cunt go on and on and on about the fucking bullshit pertaining to our fire and the fucking all the Smokey the Bear bullshit she was spewing at him. Apparently some people take campfires pretty damn seriously in Colorado.
Goddamn right, man. Don't want to end up being the next California.
I really pray that Colorado doesn't have that fate, because Colorado deserves better.
I mean, if they didn't have that fate, everybody would be nice and toasted.
I mean, I'm fucking nice and toasted. What's good?
Hi, so am I.
Hey.
So fucking this guy comes down and he talks to us, and we explain to him our side of the thing, and he's like, well, yeah, you guys did the right thing. Just, don't drive her crazy anymore. And, he like looks around his shoulder to make sure she's not listening. He's like, yeah, she gets a bit carried away sometimes. Don't worry about it. like, all right, man. But this guy was like, he had to be in his 60s. Like, he didn't give a fuck. Late 50s, early 60s.
Classic rule fucking.
Like, he's just there having a good time. Like, he is one of the forestry people. But he's just there having a good time, Like, he doesn't...
He's probably just riding that shit to retirement.
Probably. Dude, though, the guy was cool as fuck.
That's because he's only got like 3
That's
years
what I mean.
left.
Like, dude's probably gonna fucking retire in a few years. Probably just honestly doesn't even fucking care anymore.
That guy was the cool.
That
guy was the coolest guy I'd met in the entire fucking state. He was even cooler than the dispensary guys.
I fucking love the dispensaries. They're so awesome.
Well,
I finally got to go to one, by the way.
The one that I went into in Pagosa Springs, like it was not what I expected a dispensary to be.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, okay, I don't know what yours was like, but let me describe mine. It was almost treated like some black market shit.
Yes.
Like I went up and there was like this bulletproof fucking window there with a guy behind it. And he's just like, yeah, let me have your ID. We hand him the ID and he like scans it with a fucking barcode thing. And then hands it back to us and then pushes like an electronic buzzer to fucking let us in. And then we had to stand in line and wait for fucking him to get done helping the other people because they have only a certain amount of people that can approach the counter at the same time. And you can't really sit there and bullshit with them and ask them a bunch of questions. You just kind of have to read whatever's on the fucking menu and tell them what you want. So I'm like, I went in there and I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what strain I was trying to get, but I was trying to get it because I thought it was like the bougie shit because they were charging like fucking $28 a gram. So I pulled a stack of cash out of my wallet and I'm like, yo, I want a bunch of this shit. It was like some really expensive indica strain. And he's like, yo, we're having a sale on animal cookies. I'll get you a quarter for $50. I'm like, all right, cool. So I hand him my money. He puts the stuff in the bag. I don't even bother looking at it. I just take my bag, stuff it in my motorcycle saddlebag, and I fuck off. Because I was trying to get in a hot spring at that time. And I'll continue that story later. We're going to go back to the campground. So I get back to the campground. I get up in the morning and the forestry people are out there doing some other shit. And they're like, hey, did you hear the bears next to your picnic area last night? Like, no. Although I'm not sure I would have cared if I knew they were here, I'm still not sure I would have cared. I like bears. So we went to Silverton, where we ate breakfast. And that stretch of road in between Durango and Silverton is fucking beautiful, dude. So from Silverton, I don't remember exactly what road we took. But we ended up on the fucking $1 Million Highway. And that road is... I highly recommend people go to that road just to see it. That being said, I can see where that road would be scary to people who are smarter than me. Because you can look down at certain points of the road, and Quack will know what I'm talking about, I think. I can't guarantee anybody else will, but I think Quack would. You can look down at certain points of the road, and you can see, like, a drop as far as the eye can see. The drop is so fucking steep. Looking down, you can't even see the bottom. Like, that's how steep the fucking drop is. Like, you go off the road, you're plummeting 3,000 feet to your fucking death. And the other curious thing about Colorado is in areas like that, they do not seem to believe in guardrails. Which I think... Huh?
Life, dog. If you take that turn, you taking it knowing that it might be the last one you ever take.
Straight up, though. And I'm on a motorcycle, so there's even... I'm on a motorcycle, so there's even more that can go wrong for me than there is the average person. And any little thing that goes wrong for me, at least there, is lethal.
How do you think the semi-drivers feel?
I would not do that if I was a semi-driver.
Bro, that's how a lot of those mountain roads are. From, like, once you get like when you, especially, oh my god, dude, especially when you get up into like heading towards Utah, like once you hit like Idaho Springs, like right up in that area, it's the same thing. Like it's the same way all the way through the fucking Rocky Mountains, all the way until you get into Utah.
I'm telling you, if I was a truck driver, I would skip Colorado.
You would just go right the fuck around it.
Yeah, the only road that I would take in Colorado as a truck driver is the 70.
The 25 ain't too bad.
The only one I'd consider taking is the 70 or certain stretches of the 50.
Also, the 70 is what I'm talking about. Like, parts of the 70 end up like that.
Anyways, the $1 Million Highway was something to behold. It was very, very beautiful. And so I went and, fear none, kill all, says Idaho's like that. I've never been to Idaho. I have some absolutely stunning video footage of Colorado, though. I had my GoPro mounted on the front of my bike. Oh, man. So we ended up, we're like, you know, at this point we have a mindset of, you know, we're trying to head home, but we're still trying to see some shit. So we ended up hopping on I think I was back on the 50. That took us through the Gunnison National Forest.
Okay.
And we took a stretch of road known as the Black Canyon of the Gunnison. And that was really scenic and really awesome. And we were like, you know, on our way back through, it's like, hey, while we're at it, why don't we go ahead and... The one thing that we fucking came to see, the fucking Royal Gorge. Like, why don't we hit that on the way back? Since we couldn't hit it on the way there. Because of, you know, unforeseen mechanical problems as a result of a shithole called Pueblo. So So anyways, we go to the fucking Royal Gorge. Well, on the way to the Royal Gorge, like they have like the shittiest stretch of highway leading up to it. And I don't mean shitty like there's a lot of turns. The turns are fun. I mean shitty like to the point I was really impressed with the way Colorado maintains its roads until I saw this one. Like, I went from feeling like I was in Colorado to feeling like I was in Oklahoma, which, let me tell you, Oklahoma has the shittiest roads I've ever been on within the continental U.S. So, the vibrations of being on this highway, it was just like, it wasn't even, it was like all wavy. The vibrations of being on this highway caused my the bolt holding the front brake pad of my motorcycle to fucking rattle out. You know, the one that my friend could not be bothered to put back in correctly.
Yeah.
So we're walking down this stretch of highway that really you shouldn't be walking down because of how narrow it is. And we go down here and we find this stupid fucking bolt. And it wasn't the bolt that was supposed to be for my bike. It was like some random thing that we picked up off the side of the highway. And the threads were all fucked up and damaged. So when we screwed it in there, it stayed in there. And we were like, well, fuck it. If it fits, it sits. Hopefully that makes it back home. And then we went from there. We're like, by the time we got done with that, we had no interest in seeing the Royal Gorge anymore. We just left. This shitty stretch of highway is called the 3A, apparently. So we left. We're like, fuck it, you know. My bad luck has followed us this whole trip. Like, we're already on the way home. Let's get home before my bad luck catches up with me even further and one of us fucking gets killed or some shit. So we went back through. We took the Highway 50 through Cannon City. All the way back up through fucking Pueblo. And we stopped in I'm trying to fucking follow it to find exactly where we stopped. We stopped in La Huenta, where Brandon was like, you know, I don't want to drive 3 hours to go to the next place to camp, so we're just gonna get a hotel here. Like, well, fuck it. You're paying for the hotel room, I guess. So whatever. If that's what you want to do, that's cool. In between La Huenta and fucking Cannon City, I think in between those two places, we went and we took we went to the Monarch Park. I think that's what they call it. Like Monarch Pass or some shit. It's like 12,000 feet above sea level. And at about this point, I was ready to like, I consider Brandon to be one of my best friends. Right? At this particular point on the trip, I was seriously thinking about putting a bullet in his fucking head. So we stopped at that Monarch Park, I think it's called. Let me Google it just to make sure. Yeah, it's Monarch Park. So we went there, and they have in that park, like they have a really nice paved area that you could go to and like park. My friend Brandon decides to go to the shitty fucking gravel area to park. And as a result of that, I end up on like the shittiest stretch of the shitty gravel, and my bike starts going sideways. And I pulled out a fucking joint in my shoulder. Like I ripped a fucking muscle ligament trying to keep my bike from falling over. And it went over anyways. Like I'm holding my bike up, and it feels like I'm winning the battle, right? I feel a snap in my shoulder. I hear a loud pop, and then a second later, I have a shearing pain going down my whole fucking arm. I drop the fucking bike because I physically can't hold it anymore. I fall over on the fucking ground, just screaming in sheer fucking agony how fucking painful this shit was in my shoulder. I'm writhing in pain on the ground for like 5 minutes. And my friend Brandon doesn't even realize that I'm in pain because he thinks that I'm just mad. Like, when he explained this to me later on, I looked at him, I was like, yeah, because clutching my shoulder and writhing on the ground is something I totally do when I'm mad. So we take a break from the road and we go up the fucking gondola to like the top of the mountain. And we look around up there, and I took some pretty cool pictures. And then we went back down and we left, and then we went to La Huenta and stayed at a hotel. Now, on the subject of hotels, we ran into somebody who actually lives in the town that we live in. At the hotel, who was also riding a motorcycle, but they were going to Colorado. Like, damn, what a fucking coincidence that is. So, we get back from Colorado, and that part of the trip is rather uneventful going forward. So, when I get back from Colorado, now this is chapter 2 of the weed story, right? Because I was told that I was buying a quarter of animal cookies. They threw a whole other strain in the bag. And I guess the animal cookies was supposed to have like a 15% THC content, which from what I was reading is supposed to be pretty decent weed. So I looked at the fucking container and I saw the name of the strain, and it was not animal cookies. It was something called Moe's Hammer. I've never fucking heard of Moe's Hammer. No idea what the fuck it was. Haven't had any yet. I've still, I haven't smoked it. And I may not be possessing it. I can neither confirm nor deny that. But the bottle claims to have a 28.5% THC content. And
that's all right.
When I open the fucking bottle when I open the bottle, just an aroma comes out of it like I haven't fucking smelt on any other weed before. Now, mind you, I've had no experience with dispenser weed.
I just had some garlic breath that was like 28.7%. It was nice.
The experience of dispensary weed I haven't had. I've seen street weed. Never dealt with dispensary stuff, right?
It's gangster, isn't it?
I opened up the fucking bottle and was just hit with a fucking smell. That fucking, like, kind of almost had like a partial fucking high, just sticking my nose in the bottle and inhaling the fumes coming off of it. Like holy fuck, this has to be the most powerful fucking weed that I have ever personally held in my hands. Like, I haven't smoked a lot of weed, but I can tell that this is some strong ass shit. And you know what? If you're gonna give it a name like Moe's Hammer, it would kind of be false advertisement if it wasn't strong ass shit.
That's what Trainwreck says.
But I haven't smoked any yet because I don't know if I have to take a drug test at any point or not.
Hey man. Quick Fix Plus.
On the subject of drug tests, while I'm no longer climbing towers, I have a job that's fucking awesome. So have I told both of you guys what I do?
You haven't told me.
Okay. Then if I've told you, Quack, don't fucking spoil it, dick.
I'm honest to God, I haven't been here for the past 5 minutes because I went to get food.
Oh, you missed the best part of the discussion for you. I was talking about weed for the last 5 minutes.
No, you were already talking about weed when I left.
Yeah, the discussion continued.
Oh.
I just segued into the next thing like 30 seconds ago.
Rip.
But anyways, go ahead and take a guess what I do, 2.0.
Corrections officer.
Not far off. But it's not what I do.
I was gonna say, yeah, because last time I talked to you, you were in fucking PA. Getting trained to be a corrections officer. So
No, I was not in PA getting trained to be a corrections officer. I was in PA. But not it. The Kansas Department of Corrections would not send me to Pennsylvania because they're going to have different policies.
Say, you're part of the FBI now. It was all just a big trap to get me and Quack.
Oh, fucking conspiracy, man. They're putting fucking atrazine in the water and it's making the fucking frogs gay.
Honestly, I've looked into that statement and there is some truth to his fucking rant. Just throwing that out there.
Little do you guys know that I'm actually your CIA handler.
That's fine.
I believe.
Go ahead, say the words, activate me. Just make it so
That-
I don't kill my...
That would probably be the most believable thing I've ever said,
It
even
really
though it's not true.
I mean, honestly, after watching American Ultra, maybe.
I watched
but-
the Truman Show a couple days ago.
Alright, so I have a job fixing inmate visitation systems and phones and tablets inside of prison.
That's fun.
So, like, it actually kind of
Like, here's
is.
a normal job, but it's in a prison, so it's dangerous. We'll pay you for it.
Well, they actually are paying me quite a bit more than the last job. And I do quite a bit less.
What's up?
So, and I'll explain this. This is kind of fucking crazy. So, I already had this job lined up. I had the offer letter signed and everything before I got fired from the last job. Like, they gave me just enough time off before firing me to find another job. And that's exactly what the fuck I did. And, you know, I was like, I'm used to working 18-hour days, you know, let me be productive and find a job. So these guys sent me to fucking Pennsylvania to learn how to work on fucking analog phones, which I, prior to this job, didn't know dick about analog phones.
You didn't know shit about the primitive technology.
I really fucking didn't. Like, I know how to use one. I know how to.
Kid who was born in '92.
I know how to plug it into the wall. I know how to like dial the area code. I know fucking star 67 and star 69.
He said, I know the basics.
I know 411. You know what? I even know how to terminate a cable before this job. Like, I know it's a fucking 2-pair cable, and I've also physically got the tools to do it. I just don't use them for that. So I got hired on at this, and so they're like, all right. And I'm in the fucking interview, right? And the guy I'm interviewing with, he's like, well, what do you know about analog phone stuff? You know, 66 block punch down and 120 punch down. I was like, I know how to rip that shit off the wall and replace it with voice over IP. So he's like, all right, well, clearly, since you don't know dick about phones, we're going to send you to Pennsylvania, and you're going to train with this guy who's been doing it for like 25 years and is like fucking Gandalf of analog phones. So I go in there and within 2.5 hours of having my company credit card that they gave me, I maxed it out. Spent $600 on a plane ticket, $800 on a rental car, $900 on a hotel room.
It was like, yeah, free money.
Plus my $35 a day spending limit for food, and then $120 for airport parking for my car.
That's crazy. $35 a day. So they expected you to eat what? Fucking McDonald's?
Pretty much. They're not paying for you to get a 5-star meal. They're paying for you to go learn something.
Well,
Fair.
instead of
that's how they look at it, man.
well, the food in Pennsylvania is not very expensive.
It's not.
And now I'll tell you something that fucking blew me away. The one of the first things I saw there was a Burger King that was hiring, starting at $17 an hour.
Dude, you sent me a picture of that. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I'll move to Pennsylvania for $17 an hour.
Yeah, the cost of living is pretty high.
No, not this particular area. This particular area was kind of nicely situated in the middle of nowhere. So, like, rentals in that area were about what they would cost in Kansas. I was like,
it was a very poor neighborhood.
I was like, you know what? I'd be kind of happy flipping burgers for $17 an hour.
I mean,
Like, not a care in the world.
I only make a little bit more more than that. I bust my ass at work.
At my job now, I make the equivalent to $22 an hour. If I do a perfect 40-hour week. I'm salary. The cool thing is I don't have to clock in and clock out.
Yeah, because it's just like, yeah, I'm working today. I'll be there.
Like, I do submit a time card at the end of the week, but I put 9 to 5 on, like, every time card for every day. Like, I don't actually keep track of my hours other than for the purpose of billing the clients. So the first fucking day I go in there and we go to a prison called SCI Mahanoy. And I was really, like, this was the first, like, I've been in jails before. This was the first no bullshit prison that I've ever been in. And it really kind of set home exactly where I sit at in the prison totem pole. Like, this particular prison was the perfect example of a prison for me to go to, you know?
Did you get fucking accidentally scared straight?
No. Quite the opposite.
He said I could be a criminal. I'd be good. I'd do good in here.
It was legit. It was quite the opposite. When I went in there, like, we're talking lifers and people who are in there for, like, robbery and kidnapping and shit. Like, this is a medium to medium high, like, security installation.
Uh-huh.
Like, they have some rather serious people in here. And they're holding the fucking door for me. Like, they're holding the fucking door for me, and they're, like, offering me food and shit.
Well, nah, it's different. You can't decide where your spot would be in prison. The only reason you had that kind of clout in prison is because everybody in there knew exactly what you were there to do.
Yes.
You were letting them be able to talk to their families, so yes, they respect you off top.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not saying that's the way it would be if I got arrested and ended up there. I was saying that the way these particular prisoners acted, like, it was the perfect fucking place or the perfect time or environment or whatever to kind of demonstrate to me as a brand new employee who's his literal first day at this fucking job, you know, where I am at as far as things go with the prison.
Fair enough.
Like, I am in a very weird and peculiar spot of being friends with the guards and the inmates.
Yep.
And it's a very fine line that I have to walk sometimes to not piss either of them off. So, after that, the next prison we went to was it was like a medium minimum. Like, they had a like a minimum place outside of the prison, and then it was like a medium prison. And in this particular facility was like a different segregation area where they had all their sex offenders and stuff. And that particular prison, it looked like it was SCI Waymart was the name of the prison.
Okay.
So the only reason I'm putting that out there is so that if people feel like fucking Googling shit or whatever, like, they can look and they can see what I'm talking about. So, while I'm talking about this, I'm trying to look at audio issues Bryce is going on about. Try that out. So, the outside of this prison looked like a mental asylum. Like, it looked like a 1920s or 1930s asylum. And it was kind of creepy, I'm not even gonna lie. And it was like an overcast day, which made it a little creepier. It was Halloween in August. So I went and this particular building is kind of weird because they've just added on to it whenever they've wanted to make it bigger. So you can tell where you are when you see the building materials change and the type of tile change and the foundation and everything looks different. And you know what? I have the video pulled up. I should pull up pictures of some of this stuff for you guys. So SCI Waymart. Here's a good picture right here. It looks like a fucking mental asylum. Or like it used to be one. Like, you see that fucking, like all those tall spires on the top for exhausting air or whatever? Just, I don't know, the general architecture, it looks like a fucking asylum. So then we went to the other notable prison that we went to was that I remember the name to. Oh, we went to SCI Dallas, which it has 1,900 inmates housed there, and like 500 of them are in there for life. So we went there, and then we went to SCI Frackville, which is in the particular area that I was staying in, like their maximum security prison. Like where all the worst of the worst go. So, and then after that, the guy who I was training with, he had requested a personal day off on Friday, so I just sat on my ass in the hotel room. And then I went back home. So what my typical workday consists of is I will drive, like, I'll drive to a prison that's like 2 hours away. And then I will go in there for like 2 or 3 hours and I will look for shit that's broke and fix it. And then I will drive 2 or 3 hours home. So like, and sometimes I don't have anything to do there. Like, okay, Monday, I went to the Ellsworth Correctional Facility here in Kansas. They had nothing for me to do. To the point that, like, they knew they had nothing for me to do. So I didn't even go in there and look. Like, I went there and they're like, yeah, we don't have anything for you to do. I'm like, oh, okay. And I turned around and drove home. And I was home at like 11:30 in the morning. Which is good because I had the worst fucking hangover ever, and I really wasn't about that prison life on Monday. Me and a friend decided to get drunk, and we had a 28-ounce bottle of bourbon. Still had like 24 ounces in it. And me and her went through the entire bottle. Mostly me. And I woke up the next day forgetting most of the events of the night before, and I had a hangover that lasted 2 days. Like, on the way to the prison on Monday, I stopped on the side of the highway twice to throw up. On the way home from the prison, I did the exact same thing. It was bad. So anyways, that's been my life up to this point. It has been suggested to me by a few people that while I'm doing things on YouTube, one thing, and I wanted to ask both of you guys' opinion about this. It was suggested to me that I should do reaction videos.
I mean, reaction videos are a good way to build a following.
Yeah, but the problem is, though, is when you build a following around reaction videos, that's kind of all you end up doing because that's all you'll end up getting views from.
I mean,
Well,
that's fair, but like, you know,
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna get into reaction viewing, like doing reaction shit, like you essentially have to make that your content. Like,
no,
you can't really do much else but that.
I'm doing variety content. I'm not gonna just do one type of thing because that's fucking boring.
Or you can always go the route of making a second like YouTube channel for only that. Some people do that. Some people split like their channels up. They'll have like one is their gaming channel, one is like their reaction channel, and one is like their vlog channel or something like that.
I might think about that, but
or like, instead of a vlog channel, maybe just make it like a whatever, just like a fuck it, I'll post whatever I feel like on this channel type shit. And then you have one that's only for reactions, and you have one that's only for gaming.
Well, I was thinking about doing stuff like that, but using playlists for people. To make shit easier to find. I love it when YouTubers do that. Because, like, when they have another channel, most of the time, I don't find their other channel. But if I take a look at their video and I see something that I like, I'll look at their playlists and see if there's anything else that they've paired with it.
Right.
There has been another YouTuber that I've been watching lately.
Who?
I gotta find the name. It's like Nico something. Nico Leonard.
What is the content?
Well, he just comments on watches. He's like a watch collector.
Got it.
And he makes fun of celebrities, mostly rappers and TikTok people's watches. And part of what's had that fucking come up lately is I've been researching watches. And then Google was like, "Oh, you've been researching watches. You'd probably like these watch YouTubers." And I was watching a couple of them, and then I stumbled across this fucking guy, and he made me laugh my fucking ass off, dude. So, for the past few weeks, I've been fucking religiously fucking watching his shit. So, Let's see. Well, Quack showed up. Well, yeah, Quack showed up first. So, go ahead and give him a little bit of time to catch up with us. What you been up to?
Oh, fuck, dude. Well,
You heard that here first, ladies and gentlemen. Quack said he's fucking dudes.
Do what?
what?
He said, "Oh fuck, dude." I mean, he's been fucking dudes. What I heard.
Shut the fuck up.
Quack would fuck dudes.
I mean, if they give better blowjobs, you know.
Okay.
Hey, hold on a minute. Being on the receiving end of a blowjob is not gay.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Being on the
What?
being on the receiving end of a blowjob is a status symbol.
Yeah, it's like a powerful thing.
That's like that's a power play.
You guys.
Quack's like, I don't think I want to hang out with you guys anymore. Like,
Oh,
I need an adult.
no,
I'm an adult.
the level of dominance you have to have over another man to get him to suck your dick. That's a power play. Like through and through.
I don't think it's necessarily always a dominance thing, though.
I mean, it kind of is, though.
It kind of is. It kind of is. Just in the very act of how submissive sucking, like how submissive you would have to be to somebody to suck their dick.
You sound like you got a lot of knowledge about sucking dick.
I just had my dick sucked. That being said, I've had my dick sucked enough to understand the mental games that are going on there. Whereas, you know, Quack over here doesn't have a dick to suck.
Fuck you.
So what you been up to?
Well,
You gonna keep stumbling around the question, or are we gonna keep roasting you, or are you gonna tell us? Get it out.
I've been dealing with some fucking personal shit. Fucking, my fucking dad died.
Dude, I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, we were
So-
talking about his car crash at one point here on the Kekfest.
Yep, that was back in March.
Yeah, that fucking blows.
Yep, he was also on the Kekfest a couple weeks before that too for getting shot. Remember?
Yeah,
You trying
yeah,
to
I
tell me
do.
homeboy got shot and then got into a car accident shortly after?
Yep. Yeah, he
That
also
guy's
had
a fucking
COVID.
gangster.
He also
Like
had COVID before that.
his
Before he
luck
got
is
shot.
his luck may be worse than mine.
Don't forget that part. Don't forget that part. He had COVID before he got shot too. So he was in the hospital in a coma for COVID, then got shot, and then got in a car accident.
On the subject of COVID, I'll just remind me. Bring the subject up later, but finish your stories.
So, anyway, yeah. So he passed, and so I've been hanging out in Arizona with my grandmother and my little brothers.
Nice.
Yeah. Fucking, I leave back home on Saturday.
Do you want to go home or no?
Not really.
Make sure to bring some 30 rounders with you for the, citizens of California to use.
I mean, have you discussed how you felt with your grandmother?
Okay, we're not having a therapy session.
No, it's not. I mean, it's a genuine question. I mean, like you don't want to go home. Fucking be like, yo, grandma, I'm trying to come fucking live with you.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to have a therapy session on the Kekfest.
I mean, to be honest with you, if I lived in California, I wouldn't be trying to go home either.
Facts,
Thank-
though.
Although Quack can't hate home that much.
Home is where the weed's legal.
Sure. Well, weed's legal here too, dumbass.
Well, I mean, recreationally?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that.
Yep.
There's
The
only
only,
like
the only,
there's
the only
only
stipulation is that you can't go into a dispensary without an Arizona ID.
there's only like
Well,
there's only like 7 states where it's illegal.
Yeah. The fucking number of states that it's illegal in is a lot smaller than it is.
However, they're
That's
talking
just
about
because Louisiana wants to keep paying for their prison system, right?
they're talking about making it medicinally legal here.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
talking about making it federally illegal, period.
yeah, seriously.
No, they're
Honestly,
not. There's no way
Yes,
they're
they
gonna not with fucking Biden in office.
How much you want to bet?
Especially with Biden in office.
$20. Fucking Biden hates weed.
No, we don't. And plus, they're trying to figure out anything they can figure out to figure out how to fucking gain money for that 3.5 billion, trillion.
Actually, I'll tell you what. Okay, I'll tell you what. If Biden fucking legalizes weed, like federally, I will fucking donate $50 to charity. Bet. I will
Charitable.
like if dude, no, straight up. If he legalizes it, I will donate $50 to charity. If he does
Bet.
not legalize it, by the time his fucking first term is over, fucking 2.0 donates $50 to charity.
Bet.
My choice, or
Yeah, you donate $50 to a charity of your choice.
I bet.
I've already decided where I'm donating mine if push comes to shove.
Well, you got my curiosity.
Ooh, we should make it to where we have to donate to places we wouldn't want to donate to. Like,
No.
Loser has to give fucking like you have to force me to give $50 to Trump. Like,
Well,
no,
I'm gonna
you gotta start. No,
I'm
you
gonna-
gotta donate.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'd sooner swallow a fucking bullet than donate a dime to fucking PETA. Not doing that. No, legit though. I'm not gonna make somebody donate to a cause they don't support because that's disingenuous as fuck.
yeah, I know,
Alright,
but it's
fine,
gotta be a
fine.
cause that you do support.
How about you donate to a vegan thing?
How about not? Better yet, I'll not and claim that I did.
Can I donate to a religion?
You know what? If you want to donate to a religion, you can. I don't care where you
I'll give
donate your
$50
money
to the
if you
Church of
lose.
Satan.
Huh?
I'll give $50 to the Church of Satan if I lose.
Okay. I'm giving my money to the fucking Humane Society.
Why?
Because animals?
Yeah,
I
you know
mean,
they
he's got
murder.
a solid ass point there, like, because animals, like,
Yeah, but they
touche.
murder.
Yeah, but they also find new homes for these animals, and they have to have money in order to feed
of
these
them.
animals. Well, specifically the Humane Society type program that I want to donate to, in working with the prisons here, I've found that a couple of the prisons here have programs where they will take dogs from the Humane Society that are about to be euthanized for whatever reason.
Oh yeah, and they let them live in the prisons.
And they will let the inmates raise the dog and like re-socialize the dog to get it to where it's not like a fucked up dog that people don't want to adopt anymore.
I've seen that shit on like fucking TV before.
Oh,
And-
pit bulls and parolees.
Yeah, exactly. It's like
So-
a pit bulls and parolees type deal. Exactly.
Yeah, so that's where my $50 is going, is to buy those fucking dogs food.
Okay, I can accept that.
That's
mean,
fair.
Whether you accept it or not, that's what's happening. Like, straight up, I saw that program and I saw how good it is for both the inmates and the dogs, and I don't know. I support shit like that.
He says, I see nothing but good things from that, so fuck it. That's fair.
And they're, the prisons are also not profiting off of it either. Like, if you want to adopt one of their dogs, it's like $85.
Yeah, and let's be real, like, depending on how long that dog was there, that 85 is like nothing compared to the costs of fucking keeping the dog in the prison.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're having to feed the dog. They're having to pay the inmate like $1.25 an hour or whatever to, like, train the dog.
Uh-huh.
And then they have all the fucking shots and all the vet bills and all that other bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
So, and they're doing all that shit to give a second chance to a dog that's about to be euthanized. And I was talking to some of the guards and some of the inmates and some of the other people about that program. And they have another one in a different prison where they raise service dogs for, like, PTSD vets and stuff. And I'm like, I could get behind this. In fact, if I get a house where the lease will let me have a dog, I will adopt a dog from that program. That's where I'm going to get it. Because I mean, I don't know. I believe in it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe I'll have a fucking maybe I'll have a fundraiser campaign for them where, like, stream donations or some shit will get donated to that. I don't know. Been thinking about it.
Like a Dr. Lupo style shit.
I don't know who that is, but sure.
Oh.
What about you, 2.0?
Fuck, man. I mean, honestly, not too much has been going on. Been focusing on being a dad, working my fucking life away.
How is the little shit?
He's doing good, but fucking, he had this little bump on his head when he was fucking born, and it's just been there. It hasn't, like, it's gotten a little bit bigger, but not like fucking big. And so I had an appointment the other day. And they were like, we think it's an epidermoid cyst. And I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? They're like, it's better than a dermoid cyst. Huh?
He's got a pimple?
Nah, it's a cyst. It's different.
A cyst is just a giant pimple.
No. Cysts can be very dangerous, actually.
Assume we're not doctors. Even though half of us are.
Okay. Epidermoids...
Recruit.
Most cysts are made up of skin that's grown in on itself, and it forms and pus and all that bullshit. Anyways, that's not what matters. It's on his skull, and they're like, we think it's an epidermoid cyst, and if it's an epidermoid cyst, that means it stayed outside of his skull and is just on the surface or whatever. They're going to go in and remove it on November 2nd, and then we're going to find out if it's an epidermoid cyst or if it's a dermoid cyst. And if it's a dermoid cyst, that means it went through his skull, it was growing on his brain and shit. So that's a whole nother surgery. And, just been kind of worried about that shit. But other than that, I mean, shit's been pretty chill.
Right on.
So, well, like, okay, but here's my question, though, is how did they come to the conclusion that it's a cyst and not a tumor?
Because doctors, he literally touched it and was like, I've seen 1,000 of these. This is what it is. And he's like, I'm just not sure if it's this kind or this kind.
But he's absolutely positive it's a cyst and not a tumor.
Yeah, he's a neurosurgeon and shit. Like,
okay. Well,
he's more qualified to differentiate the difference between a cyst or a tumor than either of us would be.
Well, my thing was like, I was wondering because I didn't want to assume he took him to a fucking neurosurgeon. I assumed maybe, just being honest, because most people would assume at first it's a skin thing. I figured maybe he was talking to a dermatologist.
Well, this is how it went. I went to his primary care provider, and they were like, we're gonna refer you to this dermatologist. And the dermatologist was like, I'm gonna refer you to the neurosurgeon. I'm like, and I looked at the dermatologist and I was like, why the fuck do you want to refer us to the neurosurgeon? What the fuck is it? Is it that bad? And she's like, I don't think it's anything too bad. I just think it's something that, you know, not dermatology wise. And I'm like, okay.
So basically she's saying, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, that's pretty much what she did. She was like, I'm not 100% sure what it is, and I don't want to get you worked up, so...
Gotcha. See, like I said, I didn't want to assume you had already been through all that, so I just started at the bottom.
Man, I mean, like, look, I'll slack when it comes to my health and shit like that, but, like, my kid doesn't have the choice. You know what I'm saying? He can't slack on his
Well, no,
health.
for sure, but I'm just saying I didn't know how far into it you were, you know what I'm saying?
He's definitely he's definitely not at the age where you can slack yet.
Yeah.
So
other than that, you know, I mean, like, I recovered from the kidney stones. That was fun.
Yeah, I was watching the last Kekfest. Kind of going over it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I stumbled across that section, and I had to skip past it.
What I described, what happened to me.
it will make it to the best ofs when I make a best ofs for it.
Oh,
it might even get its own entire separate episode because of how long the segment was.
Bro.
I
gave you the genuine play-by-play, like,
but
how bad everything.
I had to skip it because just fucking thinking about it again fucking made my dick do the whole fucking turtle thing.
Oh yeah, I know. I lived that shit.
Like I'd rather kill myself.
Honestly, that's why like there's been a couple of my friends that are like, oh, you know, like, you know, let's eat this, and I'm like, no, dude, like I've been sticking to the shit. Like I'm not allowed. Like I will not let myself eat chocolate. I will not drink a Coca-Cola. I will not do that shit because that shit all causes it. And I'm like, nah.
You can probably do it in moderation.
Nope. Fuck that. The pain. It's not worth even risking moderation. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Not even like I mean, what about like an occasional like one time?
No.
Like,
of course,
like,
but of course he's coming from the perspective of having like, you know, Super Saiyan kidney stones.
I mean, pretty much.
Like kidney stones that you could probably weaponize.
Yeah.
Is that the stone? Are those the types of stones that fucking David killed the Goliath with?
Probably.
Easily. I'll tell you right now, if it wasn't for modern medicine, those stones would have fucking killed me. No doubt.
Yeah, you know what? I tend to agree with that. Because you had one of them. I remember because I went through the fucking Kekfest, so I remember what we were saying. Like I was listening to it last night. You had a fucking kidney stone that was a goddamn half-inch.
Yeah. Like. No
like
exaggeration.
You hold on to that motherfucker, and if somebody pisses you off,
they turned that fucker into powder.
Really?
Yeah, that's how that one came out. There was no way of passing it.
Oh, I was gonna say
they went in with a laser beam and turned that shit into just silt.
I was gonna say because you hold on to that fucker, and if somebody pisses you off, you get one of them high-end slingshots that you can get at the sporting goods section in Walmart.
Kill somebody with my kidney stone, like
fucking shoot him in the chest with your kidney stone. Be like, yeah, you got a kidney stone in your lung. What now, bitch?
Pretty much. That's exactly what I'd say too. Like, yeah, you're gonna fucking die now.
Yeah, you're gonna die choking on my fucking kidney stone.
Kidney stone, more like lung stone, am I right?
On the subject of health,
Most dangerous game of head, shoulders, knees, and toes of anyone's ever played.
so you know the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Do y'all remember the debacle that I was having with COVID on the last Kekfest?
Yeah.
About how your bosses, like a couple of your coworkers tested positive, and your bosses were like, "You're not even allowed to go get a test. Fuck off."
Yeah. Well, one of the bosses died of COVID.
Serves them right. You know what I'm saying? Like, like fucking dumbass.
I just now don't get me wrong, because that particular boss is like the one that was nice. So I feel a little bit bad for him.
Hey man, nice or not, dumb
But
motherfucker.
I can't help but be moderately entertained by the irony of the situation.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna. I don't know. It's kind of funny. I love it when a COVID denier fucking dies. Like they die from the thing that they're like, it's not real. Yeah, well.
He was like the biggest COVID denier I've ever met too.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, it won't do nothing to me.
I ain't Flintstones gummy back in fucking Knob. Like.
this was one of them guys. He like served in the 82nd Airborne. He's like,
Yeah.
well, you know, I mean, and to an extent, I'm kind of like that myself, so
Well,
I
I've been
can't
trying
give
to
him
talk to
too
my
much
boss,
shit.
man. I've been trying to tell my boss. I'm like, because my boss has to go up front and deal with the office part a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're like fucking 57 years old. Like, you really want to think about getting that vaccine? Oh, I let them fucking try enough experimental vaccines on me when I was in the army. I'm like, bro. I'm like, that fucking polio and smallpox vaccine that they gave you was fucking tried and tested. You need this. You will die if you catch that shit. No, I'll be alright. I just hope I like my foreman, man. I hope he doesn't fucking get that shit. But the way he acts and talks, that motherfucker's gonna catch it.
I'm surprised. Oh, and by the way, I did not catch it.
You didn't?
No, my test came back negative.
Lucky.
That was surprising to me. Like, very surprising.
As far as I'm concerned, that's a dub.
Because I was pretty sure that I had it. Or at least I felt like it was highly likely that I had it. Likely enough for me to go through that whole debacle just to get tested. Like, that was an all-day ordeal trying to find somewhere to fucking get tested. So, I don't think that I'm going to catch it at this point. I don't know. But I feel like if I was going to, I would have. Like, a few times already.
Honestly, the only thing that even remotely keeps me on my toes about it is yet again, like, my baby.
I've been
vaccinated.
I've been physically inside the COVID separation units in the prisons where they have COVID positive people. Like, I haven't caught it.
I mean, you got vaccinated though, right?
No.
You're playing a dangerous fucking game, kid.
The closest I've gotten to getting vaccinated was thinking about it and considering it. Like, I'm kind of on the fence about the whole thing, not gonna lie.
What, the vaccine?
Yeah.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, man, why not fucking... It's like, I'm going to fuck a whore. Period. At the end of the day, you're gonna fuck a whore. Period. You gonna put a condom on or no? That's the way I look at it.
Honestly, probably not.
I mean, fuck that.
but but
Penicillin only does so
but then
much,
again, I don't fucking like I don't buy cheap horse.
I mean, unfortunately, this whore is as dirty and as cheap as they come.
Well, I
You
mean,
don't get a choice. Gun to your head, you have to fuck this whore. Do you want to have the sheath or no?
well, I mean, if it's somebody who I'm not comfortable fucking, I'm just not gonna fuck them.
Gun to your head, you have to.
It's that simple. Gun to my head. If I'm gonna die anyways, shoot me.
I mean, fair enough.
Honestly, when I look at how some of the people who died of AIDS went out, and I look at how some of the people who've died via gunshot to the head went out, I think
hey, man, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I have a friend that is literally mine your age who's laying in a hospital in West Virginia right now, hooked up to a fucking ventilator, fighting for his life. Like, it's getting people our age now, you know? That's why I'm like, hey, you might want to think about it.
Was that person vaccinated?
No.
Because, I mean, like, I've seen so much conflicting information and bullshit with this.
Like, I haven't heard of a single person that was vaccinated that got admitted.
I've heard people who were vaccinated getting admitted and COVID hitting them fucking worse than some of the unvaccinated people that are there.
Well, I mean, like, the whole thing is, like, it hits everybody different.
Yeah, the whole thing about it is there's so much conflicting fucking bullshit out there that I'm not fucking knowing who and what to believe. So it's easier to say no than it is to say yes and then try to take back that yes.
I mean, I get where you're coming from.
And I also, I'm not stupid about it. Like going in and out of these prisons, I'm sanitizing my hands a lot. Like, I carry 2 bottles of hand sanitizer in my tool bag.
I'm assuming when you're in the prison, you wear your mask.
I do. Unless I'm in an outside...
It's probably fucking mandatory.
Unless I'm in an outside area or there's, like, nobody else there. Well, whether it's mandatory or not depends on the facility. Because, yes, technically it is mandatory statewide, but some prisons just don't give a fuck. Like, there is one prison I went to earlier this week. I'm not going to say the name for, like, OPSEC purposes, and I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or whatever. But not a single guard at this motherfucker was wearing a mask. Not one.
Maybe they're all vaccinated.
Well, whether they're vaccinated or not, they're required to wear one. And the inmates are required to wear them too, but it's kind of a weird situation with the inmates in that they're required to wear the masks, but the guards cannot punish them for not wearing the masks. So they don't. Because why the fuck should they?
I mean, if they're not allowed to punish them, there's no fucking point.
There's no point in the rule. But the other thing that they do, though, at least in this state, is they take all the positive COVID cases and they put them all in one prison. Rather than like, you know, letting them stay spread out throughout the state.
That's pretty smart, actually.
I still continue to sanitize my hands and shit, though, because of all the fucking bloodborne pathogens and STDs and shit that could get all over those fucking phone buttons.
Hepatitis and shit.
Well, it's been established that I'm immune to certain strains of that. But
that's pretty lucky.
Well, like I said on the last Kekfest, I'll take my fucking lucky shots where I can get them.
Fair.
About this very same subject, actually. So, do y'all legit think like if I made reaction videos, do y'all think that I can make good quality reaction videos?
I mean, yeah, as long as your reactions are genuine.
It's probably
Yeah.
it's probably an open-ended question. Go on,
Yeah,
Quack.
I mean, no, 2.0 pretty much said it. Like, if it looks like your reaction is scripted, then obviously people aren't going to be down with it. But if you're genuine in your reaction to whatever it is you're reacting to, then I don't see why it wouldn't.
So then what? I can't react to shit I've never watched, or
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
if you're watching, I mean, pretty much you have to react to shit you've never watched.
Yeah, like you can't react to something you've already seen.
Because I've thought about going through some movies that I like, for example, and
See, well, then
maybe not like a fresh off the top. I've never seen this reaction, but like maybe reacting to this movie from a certain point of view that somebody else might not have. Like for example, I'm former Navy, so I could get like a Navy movie. Like, I don't know, Under Siege or Battleship or something.
I mean, you could do that.
I mean, yeah, you could do that, but again, you'd still have to do that to some stuff you haven't seen before. Because,
Yeah,
again,
I mean,
you're going to have a biased reaction.
I get that, but I have a hard time trying to think of how I am going to figure out how to find something I've never fucking seen before without seeing it and know that it's going to be good for reacting to.
Well,
There's a very simple option for that.
as a reactor, you kind of have to take the chance on whether or not it's going to be good. But as for where you find it, well, it's pretty simple. You ask other people. You start a poll. You ask your friends. You ask your fucking neighbors. You ask your coworkers.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I know the best way to make it to where it's a whole bunch of shit you haven't seen, and there might be some shit that you have seen sprinkled in, which is fine.
Yeah.
But just fucking bring up, like, Streamlabs or whatever the fuck you use. Open up TikTok on the fucking desktop and just have a TikTok account that you react to as you watch it.
That's true. I haven't really. I've went through painstaking effort to avoid TikTok, but
And it's full of content that you've never seen before then.
But maybe, maybe the type of content that I've been trying to avoid watching is the shit that I should probably be the best reacting to.
I mean, most likely.
I could probably be a lot more vocal about something that I hate. I'll make inquiries.
I mean, there's only one issue with it.
I might.
The issue that you have to worry about is copyrighted music.
I might set up a. I might have. Well, I'm not going to do it myself. I might have Doka set up a Discord channel for people to drop shit for me to react to into.
That could work.
I'll tell you something I know that I would react strongly to. I haven't seen it in like 10 years. Is the fucking movie Battleship.
That movie was ass.
Do what?
That movie was ass.
Wow, you're talking about how shitty it was as a civilian. There's stuff in there from a Navy perspective that when I watched it after joining the Navy nearly fucking gave me a stroke.
Like what? Like their battle strategy or something? Or was it the fucking anchor fucking drift?
I mean, might have been something to do with the whole movie. But I'll tell you the one thing that really fucking that got me Fucking petty officer first class is the fucking weapons officer of the ship. What? This guy is in the Navy for fucking like 6 months and he's a lieutenant commander? Like, huh? Dude, it takes a motherfucker like 10 years to get lieutenant commander.
Apparently not that guy.
Like, it's incredibly... And well, it takes at least fucking like 4 years or some shit like that to even be promotable to lieutenant commander. And then after that, it's insanely fucking... Well, actually 6 years. And after that, it's insanely fucking competitive. You know, you get ensign right out of the academy. 2 years of being an ensign, you become a first lieutenant. You get that for free. 2 years of being a first lieutenant, you become a lieutenant. You get that for free. But then you have to fight with all the fucking lieutenants over who's going to be a lieutenant commander. Like, you don't just wake up one morning and put on some fucking gold oak leaves. Like, oh, yeah. Unless, of course, you're in that shitty fucking movie. How about the fact that they're taking on sophisticated alien ships with a fucking, like, 70-year-old fucking battleship? Don't get me wrong. I love the USS Missouri, and I absolutely adore 17-inch guns. I get a rock hard fucking boner every fucking time I see the USS Missouri, and it probably causes some of the earthquakes in California. That being said, I don't like the USS Missouri is not the ship that can do that. And the ship's decommissioned. Like, you're not going to get on that ship and just have the guns work.
Yeah.
They don't have any ammo. They don't have any supplies. They don't have any stores. They don't have any fucking fuel. The engines haven't been serviced in like 20 fucking years.
No, they started that bitch right up though.
But oh yeah, get the motherfucker turning and burning. There hasn't, because it's a fucking museum, there hasn't been any PMS done on fucking anything other than fucking paint. Like, there's so much shit on that ship that is not in a working order that you just know. It would take a minimum of a year to get that ship back to a state of readiness. A minimum. And you're talking about having contractors come in and fucking get into the MRG and fucking make sure the fucking gears are working good. You're talking about fucking changing oil on every single engine and generator in that motherfucker and changing the filters and fucking going through the fucking CBR system and the fucking the radar equipment that is fucking antiquated and no longer fucking used from like 25 years ago. That they're going to have to update, and they're going to have to run new wiring, and they're going to have to reconfigure all this shit. You're talking about the lubricant and the maintenance of the guns. You're talking at least a week's worth of work of just loading ammunition onto the motherfucker. You're talking about getting the fucking mess decks and the galley in a fucking operational state. You're talking about making sure the GPS navigation equipment is up to date and all the fucking maps and charts are accurate and current. You're talking about the fucking electronic warfare suite that's going to have to be updated. You're talking new fucking CWIS components and fucking surface-to-air missiles and new chaff systems to keep missiles from hitting the ship. You're talking about a full overhaul of the anchor windlass system and the chain.
I'll do all that shit in 10 minutes by myself.
I mean, you're talking
He said, give me a 6-pack, 2 Mexicans, and
a half a joint, and I got
and
this.
and then to top that off, I'm not even done thinking about all the stuff you'd have to do. You have inspections of messing and birthing, getting that shit good to go. You have fucking one of the most important things on a ship, the fucking water treatment. You know,
you don't need water when you're fucking putting fucking warheads on foreheads.
You know, running water, you know, toilets, fucking showers, sinks, water for cooking
take a piss
food.
off the side, and if you need to shit, fucking grab a rope and ask somebody to hold you up.
You're talking updating the fucking the crew safety equipment, the fucking life vests, and the making sure the life rafts actually work. You're talking about firefighting equipment. You're talking about refilling the armory with the prerequisite guns. And then after that, like, and there's still some shit that I haven't even mentioned. And then after that, after you've done all that, then you have at least a year of tests to make sure that you've done everything correctly and everything works right. And assuming by some act of God that something isn't seriously fucked up, then maybe 2 years later you can get that shit back out to sea.
Like I said, 10 minutes, totally doable.
10 minutes, a 6-pack, 2 Mexicans, and a joint.
Okay, well, when we're all on my sailboat and I tell you to fix something 2.0, I expect no fucking excuses.
Yeah.
I want it done right now.
It'll be done in a jiffy.
Oh God. Speaking of ships, sailors were injured after a nuclear submarine crashed into a submerged object in the Pacific. Okay, what is a submerged object? Are they talking about my dick? Are they talking about the bottom part of an offshore oil rig? Are they talking about a whale? Are they talking about another submarine? Like, do they know what they hit? A Seawolf attack class submarine. Several sailors suffered minor injuries when the fast attack submarine, the USS Connecticut, collided into an underwater object. The Seawolf class submarine out of Kitsap Naval Base in Bremerton, Washington, was underway in international waters when it struck an object the afternoon of October 2nd, according to a statement from U.S. Pac Fleet. Although the Navy did not specify the location of the incident, it is beyond the Indo-Pacific region, and it occurred in the South China Sea. Okay, well then I know what they hit. They don't want to.
Chinese submarine.
They don't want to say it. The Chinese don't want to say it. Nobody else wants to say it. But I know what they hit. While it remains unclear exactly what the ship ran into, there are no indications of the mishap was hostile or a collision with another vessel. Oh, really? They speculated that the boat may have run into a shipping container or an undersea mountain that was not on a navigational chart.
Yeah, right.
Sonar would pick up a fucking shipping container.
Or a mountain. I'm pretty sure GPS and satellites and sonar and all types of shit like that would help
Nope.
you avoid a fucking mountain.
The mountain would be a lot more believable than a shipping container.
Like, oh, it just came out of nowhere. What? A mountain? Like, yeah, mountain attacked you? All right.
Well, actually, come to think of it, they can't use sonar in the South China Sea as much as you'd think. Because when you use sonar, it's going to send your sonar ping to other submarines around you. So I guess, technically speaking, they could have hit either of those things. Honestly, I think another submarine is the most likely thing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They don't want to admit it.
No, they don't want to admit it because they don't want to cause an international incident. And the Chinese don't want to admit it because they don't want to admit they had a submarine there. It could have also been the Koreans. Believe it or not, South Korea does have subs.
Yeah.
Or North Korea, not South. Oh. South has them too. But most of North Korea's subs are not operational, like, properly. Most of their water is a green water navy. Alleged home intruder wanted on multiple warrants, mauled to death by homeowners' dogs.
Hero.
Well, that saved some taxpayer dollars.
Straight up.
According to police, an alleged home intruder wanted on multiple warrants was mauled to death by the homeowner's dog. Police added that the resident returned home and discovered a dead man on his front porch. Looks like a couple of pit bulls.
It doesn't surprise me.
Fox News reported the Georgia Bureau of Investigation confirmed the case of death from an autopsy as a dog attack. Investigators added that the evidence indicates the man was inside where the dogs were located at some point, but died outside of the home.
Homeboy was fighting for his life. Lost.
The sheriffs are called to the residence at 10:30 a.m. The homeowner returned to his house and found the dead man on the porch. He was identified as 21-year-old Alex Benyam Ibraha, an Atlanta resident wanted on multiple warrants out of Fulton County. They said the homeowner doesn't know the man or why he would be in his home. Well, he's probably in your home because he found his way into your home and the dogs killed him and he just wasn't removed yet. After investigating the scene, obtaining results of an autopsy, the police concluded that he entered the home and was attacked by the owner's 2 pit bulls. The dogs mauled the alleged home intruder, who ended up making his way back outside to the porch. No charges are expected against the homeowner. The dogs were removed from the home.
Which is
and are
bullshit.
currently in the care of animal control for a mandatory 10-day rabies hold. So I guess they hold the dogs to make sure they don't have rabies.
I mean, what do they do? Get rabies from the guy that they killed?
After being contacted by numerous people who wanted to know why the animals were removed, the county said, Ottawa County has received multiple inquiries regarding the dogs involved in a local home intrusion. We want to clarify that in accordance with the Georgia Department of Public Health, The dogs are required by law to remain in quarantine for 10 days without direct contact to other animals or humans.
Those dogs should be given treats and all types of shit.
The confinement must be under the authority of the designated rabies control agency.
I'll say all those dogs did was defend their property. Like cold-blooded, true-blooded American.
Yeah, that's a couple of good-looking dogs, too. And pit bulls are not mean dogs.
They are not.
They are, however, very defensive of their home.
Very.
Alrighty, I am going to have one of you guys take one of these articles.
I'm gonna have to elect Quack.
I'm gonna have to elect you to get fucked.
I can't. I'm literally in the middle of a fucking game I've been playing this whole time, and I kind of want Sob to get it.
Your Risk of Rain game is that important?
I'm about 15 levels in, and I'm trying to get the Long Road Challenge, which is 20 levels. So, kinda.
All right, we'll elect Quack. I'm
just keeping it real.
I'm gonna DM it to you. It's a short article. I need to take a drink and fucking breathe.
Fine.
Yeah, you know what? I figure this would be the perfect fucking article to give you.
Oh hell no. Okay. Oh fuck, dude. That is the dumbest headline I've ever heard. It's up there in the dumb ones for sure. Oh
well,
fuck! All right.
Those are our favorite kind of articles around here.
Police find Oklahoma robbery suspect with victim's prosthetic legs strapped to head. The
Victim.
police-
Wait, this guy has IHOP's leg.
Yeah, he took IHOP's leg.
What's IHOP doing in Oklahoma?
You know, skipping.
I don't know. Who do we know in Oklahoma?
I don't know anybody in Oklahoma. My dad was born there.
Damn.
I think Sob's still kind of fucked up about what you said. I tried to brush it over, and fucking Sob got fucking wrecked on it.
Brutal.
Oh, fucking. Alright, let me read this shit. Alright, police in Tulsa, Oklahoma have arrested a man who is accused of taking someone's prosthetic leg during a robbery last week. KTUL reports officers responded at around 4:30 p.m. to the report of a robbery on the city's north side. The victim told police the suspect approached him with a large metal spike and stole his backpack and prosthetic leg. The victim said the suspect then asked him how much the items were worth and waved around the spike. Police located the suspect, Kevion Hooks, with the leg strapped to his head. Officers removed the leg and gave it back to the victim. Hooks was booked into the Tulsa County Jail for armed robbery.
That's bullshit, man. They should have never gave that guy's leg back. It was evidence.
Oh yeah, cause fuck you, right?
I mean, fuck him.
You know what?
You to lose your leg.
You know what? The police do shit like that all the time, though.
All the time. That's why it's fucking so funny.
Look at this fucking guy's mugshot. Oh
Okay,
my
God. The dude's fucking mug is hilarious. This bro looks like he is simultaneously on crack, ecstasy, and then someone stuck a fucking finger in his ass.
What you're saying is he's having the time of his life.
Bro, literally, look at him. That is the definition. That is like a picture perfect fucking thing of right when they stick their finger in your ass.
No, I'll tell you what
like,
fucking happened. I'll tell you what happened. This guy was trying to get sent to prison, right? Because he had a fucking baggie of meth up his fucking ass that he was smuggling in there, up in his prison pocket.
I love the prison wallet.
Yeah, well, fucking the bag of meth burst, and he got like he got super fucking high, ended up on a bender, and fucking stole a guy's leg.
What you're saying is he successfully did what he set out to do.
But if
mission failed successfully, basically.
Imagine. Okay, well, but here's the thing, though. Okay, remember when IHOP stole Chad's girlfriend?
Yeah.
So maybe there's a little bit of karma there because IHOP stole Chad's girlfriend and then Meth Head stole IHOP's leg. Like, oh man, yeah, this guy does look like he had like he might have enjoyed the cavity search a little too much.
Yeah, get your finger in there. I'm about it.
Might want to clean up the back seat of the cop car after that one.
I thought it would be funny as shit if I was one of those cops that had to do strip searches to have fucking Eminem playing in the background. Imagine you just hear the slap of the glove and you just hear Eminem in the back. Shove a gerbil in my ass through a tip.
Damn. Oh, wow.
I'm sorry, it was a dumb joke, but I had to make it.
No, it was beautiful.
It was appropriate. Probably the only time you could make that joke and have it work.
Right? Like it was such a fucking, like it's such a specific joke.
Oh my god. Man, this guy kind of looks. If Beavis acting like he was Cornholio was black and got arrested, that's what this guy looks like.
Pretty much.
I need TP for my bunghole. Would you like to see my bunghole? I need finger in my bunghole. Wow.
Oh, I'm happy.
On the subject of things that probably happened under the influence of methamphetamine, a man dressed up like a ninja reportedly attacked special operations soldiers training in California. Okay,
He's a fucking savage.
what in the actual fuck? Like, okay, this is one of those people, and you'll see them every now and again. Like, whenever you go to a public park in, like, California or whatever, you'll see, like, these fucking 20-year-old wannabe Narutos fucking running around the park with nunchucks and shit. Like, they hadn't quite gotten out of that phase of their fucking early teenage years yet, even though they're in their 20s. You'll see some neckbeard running around the park with nunchucks and a fucking Naruto headband on.
I'm sorry, what did I think about a neckbeard running around a park with Naruto fucking running?
What?
I had to talk to my brother for a second. I came back to something about a neckbeard Naruto running through.
Oh no, you missed the whole start of the article. Some dude dressed up like a ninja and fucking infiltrated a special forces training camp and attacked them, dressed as a ninja.
That's cap.
No, that's real. That is fucking fucking real. I've heard about it from like fucking 6 different places now.
No,
I heard about it on the radio like a couple weeks ago, and then I forgot about it. And now here it is again.
Where was this?
What, on the radio or this incident?
The incident.
Well, the incident happened in California, of all places. So I was talking that the guy who did this was probably like anytime you go to a park in California, you'll occasionally see some 20-year-old otaku anime nerd with a fucking neck beard and a Naruto headband running around with nunchucks around the park like he's some fucking anime guy, like practicing his martial arts or whatever. And I was saying that the guy who did this is probably one of them dudes who, like, you know, took it a step too far. Am I the only one here who's seen that in person?
No, I know these people in real life.
Okay. For a second, I was thinking I was the crazy one.
No, they definitely.
In the actual fuck, dude.
Have you had the pleasure of running into one yet, Quack?
What, one of the fucking neckbeards?
That, like, you know, you'll see him, like, hitting flips and fucking, like, roundhouse kicks and playing with swords and nunchucks in the park.
Yeah.
Like shit that was shit that was really. Do what?
Not out here, but where I used to live in Colorado, in our local park, we used to have a jugger team that used to come and practice at the park.
I'm not talking about an official team. I'm talking like one neckbeard who, like.
No, I know, but I'm just telling you, like the closest thing to that would be that jugger team. Because it was literally a jugger team full of fucking neckbeards.
Like, he's so into anime that he has to, like, become the anime character.
Yeah.
And he's, like, so detached from reality that it's...
Yeah.
You can't help but look at the train wreck that's in front of you.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was one of these guys who might have gotten a little carried away.
Also, you should totally look at the article for that and not the fucking half-assed one that fucking whoever put that in there put it in there.
Well, that was fucking Bryce. Thank him. That's the article I got. You got another one, throw it in that DM.
Alright, here. Well, I mean, the one that's in there is just like the half one, and then this is like the full shit.
Okay, well, I mean, I much prefer the full shit if it's available.
Well, I just sent it to you.
I just got it. I'm transitioning to that. Okay. Oh, these fucking... I need to turn my pie hole back on. Special operations troops hunkered down in California airport hangar after nighttime ninja attack. Just, it sounds so fucking ridiculous.
Honestly, it's only funny to me if one of them got injured.
You know what? Hold on. Don't spoil the article for me because I don't fucking know dick about it. This is a live fucking reaction.
Okay.
I just heard about the headline in passing. I don't know anything else about it. I will tell you what I'm hoping for, okay?
Okay.
That either shit got crazy when one of the Spec Ops guys got, like, cut with a sword or something. Or that the ninja guy, you know, brought a sword to a gunfight and lost.
It is one of those things.
So, let's see exactly what happens with this. Okay. Let me clear my throat. All this mucus buildup from laughing my ass off at the last article. This one's probably not going to be any better. A sword-wielding man dressed as a ninja attacked several special operations soldiers who were training them at a California airport, reportedly forcing them to shelter in a hangar and inflicting wounds that required stitches.
He for real ran in there with like throwing stars and a sword, and he ain't fucking around.
Oh my god!
For some reason, it just reminds me of Joe Rogan's joke where he's like, the guy who breaks into the White House or whatever.
I'm gonna
like
fucking...
thinking every step's gonna be his last. He's just fucking pure adrenaline.
This article is gonna be the thing that kills me. Oh my god. The bizarre...
If you need me to take over, just let me know.
I haven't even made it through the first... I barely made it through the first fucking paragraph.
Take over, just let me know. I got you.
Fuck. Ugh, COVID. The bizarre assault took place at the Inyorkin Airport on an airfield at the Mojave Desert, about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, sometime after 1 a.m. Oh, so this is out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere.
Oh my god, that brings a lot of questions into my mind. That brings a lot of questions in my mind that I hope the article will answer. Bumfuck nowhere. Records from the Ridgecrest Police Department seem to confirm some details in the document posted to social media in a photo late Wednesday that said 2 soldiers were to receive stitches before returning to duty. After confirming that the incident described in the document leaked on social media did occur, U.S. Army Special Operations Aviation Command... Oh man, these guys are probably Delta Force then. Or Green Berets. Major Jeff Slinker said officials did not have any further information to add. The soldiers' names were redacted on social media, but one was identified as a staff sergeant and the other as a captain. Details suggest they're members of the 160th Special Operations Aviation Regiment, an elite helicopter unit known as the Night Stalkers.
Gets even better.
Oh my god.
The fucking
the Night Stalkers got night stalked, bro. What the fuck? Oh my god. You know what? I'm gonna send the clip of this to their fucking command. I want an interview with one of those guys. Oh man. You know what? I want to interview the staff sergeant. I want to interview the staff sergeant because I feel like the captain's going to be politically correct. I want somebody who can keep it real.
This motherfucker charged us with a goddamn sword.
I don't even you know what? I don't even want the staff sergeant's name. Like, we can give him a completely fake name. It doesn't matter to me. We can completely redact any of that. I just I mean, I would kind of like to get his side of the story just so that we could put ourselves at that. I'd like to well, I have a lot of questions.
There's a screenshot of the military incident report.
So, the incident described in the document leaked on social media. Officials did not have any further information to add. I read that part already. A staff sergeant sitting outside the administration building at airport hangar smoking a cigarette when he was approached by an unknown person wearing full ninja garb. The photograph
Do you see the picture?
I haven't seen it yet. Oh, here it is. Okay. I will read the incident report after I read the article.
Okay.
It is unclear from the records whether the man was the actual practitioner of ninjutsu. Do you know... The fuck? Do you know who I am? The ninja asked the soldier. To which the soldier replied, no, according to the document. Do you know who my family is? The black-clad man asked. Staff Sergeant again answered no. The person in the ninja garb began to slash at the soldier, striking his phone and his knee. Well, okay, did he slash with a sword or a kai or
A sword?
One of them little daggers with the fucking round fucking hole at the bottom, or... The staff sergeant took off running across the parking lot to escape the attacker, jumped a fence, and then entered an administrative building where he and a captain locked the doors and called 911. Okay, so let me get this straight. A guy in a ninja costume has people from, what was the unit? Like the 100 and...
60th fucking special...
The 160th Special Airborne fucking Night Stalkers.
Operation Regiment.
Yeah, he had these people from the fucking Special Operations Regiment fucking running away in terror and calling 911. What the hell? The man dressed as a ninja was kicking and punching doors and windows before leaving to grab a large block of asphalt, which he heaved through the window of the administration building. The captain was struck by the asphalt, said the document on social media. The first assistance call was recorded about 1:20 a.m. I need to get a Freedom of Information request on these calls. I will pay the police department money for this audio. The first assistance call log shows a man with a sword was in a parking lot, and there was at least one victim. About 30 minutes later, a second call came. 26 Spec Ops military members doing training at the airport hunkered down in a hangar, wondering where help is. Why don't you guys just go out there and shoot them?
You guys are the help. What the fuck are you fucking
Like, bro, you're at a middle of a fucking air base in a small desert town in the middle of bumfuck Egypt. Like, you are better equipped than the police.
By a whole hell of a lot.
The only thing I can think of is if their use of force would not allow them to shoot somebody attacking them with a sword. It indicates that soldiers were with F Company and Battalion 160th Special Operations Air Unit, which had been tasked to support Fort Irwin's National Training Center. All right, let's read the incident report. Let's do it. Between 0100 and 0200 on 18 September 2021, Staff Sergeant Fuckface was sitting outside an administration building of a hangar at Iokan Airfield, smoking a cigarette, when an unknown person wearing full ninja garb to include a katana sword walked up to Staff Sergeant Badinsky. The person wearing the garb stated, "Do you know who I am?" Staff Sergeant replied, "No." The unknown person then asked, "Do you know where my family is?" Staff Sergeant again said, "No." At this point, the person in ninja garb began to slash at Staff Sergeant, striking his phone and his knee. Staff Sergeant Badinsky immediately began running through the parking lot trying to evade the unknown person. Staff Sergeant Badinsky jumped the fence and entered the admin building. Staff Sergeant Badinsky and Captain... What bullshit name am I going to throw there? Obvious. Staff Sergeant Badinsky and Captain Obvious began locking all the doors and calling 911. The person in ninja garb was kicking and punching doors and windows. Unknown person left and returned a few minutes later with a large block of asphalt, which he threw through the window of the admin building, striking Captain Obvious. The unknown person then left and was arrested elsewhere. Local police arrived and took statements from the involved persons. Staff Sergeant Badinsky received multiple stitches to the leg, and Captain Obvious received multiple stitches to the head. They're both cleared to return to duty. Why was this guy not shot? How did he get past the perimeter defense? How did at least, like, he probably could have hopped the fence. Fine, I'll accept that. Whatever. But for all the movement on a military base, how does somebody not notice somebody in full ninja garb with a katana and wonder, what is this person doing here? How does one guy with a sword get fucking 28 people from one of the most elite special operations units in the army to fucking huddle in a hangar bay?
The only thing I can think of is if somebody saw him, he maybe thought it was just somebody pranking somebody, so they didn't think twice about it.
I mean, maybe, but I mean, I would have thought at some point maybe base patrol would have ran into this guy, and they would have asked him, because you're not allowed to have a katana on a military base. You know,
why?
Because unless you're specifically authorized, you're not allowed to have a weapon on a military base. Like, basically, you can't have one unless you're carrying it in the course of your duty. And I don't know of any military occupational specialties that involve carrying a katana.
You used to be able to get a katana if you became an officer, like back in World War II.
The only sword, or the only swords that are authorized for military use are like the ones for drill and ceremony.
Like the fucking...
Although in the Marine Corps, their saber is actually authorized to be used as a weapon in the field. Granted, nobody does.
If you could dead ass take your officer's sword into the fucking middle of like fucking Iraq.
You could dead ass take your officer or NCO cutlass into Iraq with you. Yeah.
That would be the most gangster shit, honestly, would be to see a fucking military video of some fucking dude in fucking hella plate armor and shit, just fucking dicing and slicing fucking Afghans.
I would never carry a cutlass into battle, as cool as it sounds.
Yeah, you'd get shot. So
No. My thing is, those things weigh like fucking 6 pounds,
Really?
and they're not lightweight.
They look
But
like it.
but it's an actual fucking sword. It's
Oh,
not like
yeah.
it's not like some flimsy piece of metal that you buy at the mall. Like, it is an actual fucking weapon that you can actually do actual weapon shit with.
Right.
So it's heavy, and you'll rarely, if ever, get the chance to use it.
Is that why it's considered more ceremonial than anything?
Yeah, I mean, granted, it would be kind of cool to be the one guy in like this century that has
To get a
killed
fucking
somebody on
sword
the military battle with a fucking sword.
Yeah, because wasn't there like a guy that fucking took a longsword and a bow into battle in like World War II?
yes, he carried a broadsword and a fucking bow and arrow and did work.
I think my favorite World War II wild fucking like random soldier story is the fucking, or no, World War One, I think. Is the fucking story of the Finnish dude who like fucking got separated from his fucking people, took like a bunch of meth and terrorized the Russians for 2 weeks.
Dude, the whole fight between the Finnish and the Russians is a beautiful story.
Yeah, but do you know
Wow.
about the guy I'm talking about?
No.
Oh fuck, hold on, let me try to look him up real quick.
All right. Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna get back on the predominant subject of this Kekfest, which apparently is meth.
Okay, I got it real quick.
Traffic stop nets 82 pounds of meth. I could almost read this like a 5M thing. I could probably change some names and make it sound like a 5M article. Should I do that?
Sure. But
Oh.
can I just throw my thing in? I found that fucking guy real quick. So the guy I was talking about, they named him the White Death.
Oh,
His
the
name-
Russian sniper.
Oh,
No,
yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, Imo Colvin or whatever, fucking overdosed on amphetamines. Fucking after he fucking regained consciousness, skied for 250 miles, survived a landmine, laid in a ditch for a week, eating only pine buds and a raw bird, and fucking terrorized the Russians. And when he was rescued, his heart rate was still fucking over 200 beats per minute, and he only weighed 94 pounds. Dude literally put fucking snow like fucking in his mouth so that his breath wouldn't fucking like show in the fucking in the cold like fucking snow and shit.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about now.
Yeah, that dude was a fucking crazy story.
All right, so this happened in Kansas. But and this is a real life thing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to change some names. And I'm going to read it like it's a something that happened in 5M, okay?
Okay.
Traffic stop nets 82 pounds of meth.
Buck Johnson.
A couple of men from northern San Andreas are in jail in Los Santos after 82 pounds of methamphetamine was discovered in their vehicle. According to the Blaine County Sheriff's Office, on Wednesday night at approximately 11:50 p.m., an officer from the Blaine County Sheriff's Office conducted a traffic stop for on a speeding 2006 Chevy Silverado at 400 Main Street in Sandy Shores. Probable cause to search the vehicle was established. The search uncovered an excess of 82 pounds of methamphetamine. The methamphetamine has an approximate value of $3.7 million. The driver, Buck Johnson, 28 of Sandy Shores, was arrested for possession of methamphetamine with the intention to sell, possession of drug sale paraphernalia, and driving without a valid license. Donald Mallard of Los Santos was arrested for possession of methamphetamine with intent to sell, possession of drug paraphernalia. He was a passenger in the pickup truck. Following their arrest, Johnson and Mallard were booked into the Los Santos jail. Official charges are pending and the investigation is ongoing. Speaking of 5M, Doka's been making good progress with the server.
Yeah, I've been fucking looking and watching in the 5M beta chat.
I don't want it to be lost on anybody that he is basically completely rebuilding the entire framework from which we were playing on.
Mm-hmm. I recognize that.
Well, I just want everybody else to appreciate how big of a task that is. Because some people don't really understand what that entails, but it's like making a whole like a whole fucking new game just about. And Doka's a fucking genius, so if anybody can do it, it's him. But I'm just saying, I just wanted to put that out there. I thought it was important that people know and understand that we will have the 5M server going soon. But there is only one Doka. So it will take a little bit of time. Are you guys ready for the internet apocalypse?
Yes.
Are you sure?
No.
The sun is always showering Earth with a mist of magnetized particles known as solar wind. For the most part, our planet's magnetic shield blocks this electric wind from doing any real damage to Earth or its inhabitants. Instead sending those particles skittering towards the poles and leaving behind a pleasant aurora in their wake. But sometimes, every century or so, that wind escalates into a full-blown solar storm.
Okay.
And as new research presented, SIGCOM 2021 Data Communication Conference warns the results of such extreme space weather could be catastrophic on our way of life. In short, a severe solar storm could plunge the world into an internet apocalypse that keeps large swaths of society offline for weeks or months at a time. Sagatha Abu, I'm not even going to try this name anymore. Some assistant professor at the University of California, Irvine, wrote an article in a new research paper. The paper is yet to appear in a peer-reviewed journal.
Peer-reviewed. Fuck those peers.
What really got me thinking about this is with the pandemic, we saw how unprepared the world was. There was no protocol to deal with it effectively, and that's the same for internet resilience. Our infrastructure is not prepared for the large-scale solar event.
We'll be fine.
part of the problem is that extreme solar storms called coronal mass ejections. I almost read that completely differently. Are relatively rare. They estimate the probability of extreme space weather directly impacting Earth to be between 1.6 and 12% per decade. In recent history, only 2 such storms have been recorded. One in 1859 and one in 1921. So, in other words, we're overdue for it.
Okay, so fuck it. If we get hit by a solar storm and get sent back to the 50s for a while, what's the big deal?
To be honest with you, I don't think that would be so bad.
Like, because let's be real here. That's pretty much what would happen. We'd basically get sent back to about, like, the 1950s.
Hopefully we can, get some of those 1950s values back.
Hold the racism?
We don't need the racism. I'm talking about, I don't know.
That's fun of the 50s. What are you talking about?
for you and Taco, maybe.
I guess.
Hey, you said it.
I mean, hey, I did.
No, it seemed like everything and everybody was happier back then.
Because nobody fucking cared back then.
Okay, we need more of that.
Bro, that's literally all the 50s was. The 50s was just, hey, fuck you, guy.
The mass spread of information makes you compelled to care. Because, you know everything.
Right, well, back then, the only way to learn anything was to go to the fucking library and read about it. Most people didn't either take the time or have the time to do that.
Well, here's what it says about these. Smaller storms can also pack a punch. In March of 1989, one smaller storm blacked out the entire Canadian province of Quebec for 9 hours. Oh no.
No, not the French bastards, it's Quebec.
Whatever would we do without power for 9 hours?
The French bastards in Quebec.
I mean, well, that would suck for people on life support and dialysis and shit. But other than that,
we should have fucking annexed them while they were down.
Yep, they've lost comms. Move. I wonder what Canada has for its power grid.
It's something way better than we do, unfortunately.
Actually, I don't know about that because their population is like a fraction of ours.
Well, so
I'm kind of wondering if it's possible that they could be getting power from our power plants.
Okay, so there's funny story about this. Most of Canada's population actually lives basically right at the Great Lakes area.
It's true.
Real shit. There's actually a line. There's a line you can put on a map, and literally, most of Canada lives actually south of the most northern part of our border.
That's one of the things that kind of has me wondering if they're using our power.
So most of Ontario uses our power.
So all we'd really have to do if we wanted to invade them is just turn the lights off. Actually, we wouldn't really have to invade them. If they pissed us off, we could just turn the lights off and be like, well, fuck you.
So, Sav.
Yeah?
I'm gonna send you something real quick.
Oh, jeez.
So see where that line is?
Yeah.
50% Canada below that line.
So they probably are using our power. I'd like to know the percentage of Canadians who live along our border.
I would guess most of them.
So would I, which makes me think, like...
Well, because
They're-
like, realistically speaking, like, once you... It's like their southernmost territories is where
Like-
where all of their like, literally, like, I'm pretty sure you could
Aside from the hardcore mountain men, like, I feel like all the city people are fucking, like, dependent on us.
Well, like, so what I was getting ready to say, though, was, like, pretty much 9% of Canadians live in their southernmost territories, and up in the north is mostly, like, gold miners, like you said, hardcore mountain men, the natives, like the Eskimos and the Inuits and shit. Fucking them, and, like, fucking, you know, like, every territory has, like, their one major city, which is usually their capital, you know. But outside of that,
90% of Canadians live within 150 miles of the border.
right?
Which it makes me genuinely wonder if they're using any of our power grid.
Well,
So, like-
so what I know for certain, like, the whole Niagara Falls thing. Like, I think we have, like, a split deal about that, but I know, like, Canada fucking uses a lot of the Niagara Falls hydroelectric shit for their grid.
We also have a big nuclear reactor up there in the Northeast that, like, services the majority of the eastern seaboard. That's probably stuff regular people shouldn't know. Like, on some real shit. If you took out,
like that, everybody
if you-
tuning into us just got put on a fucking list.
like on some real shit, if that fucking reactor had a meltdown or some shit, like, power for, like, the eastern half of the U.S. would,
Fucking die.
or it would at least, because there are smaller power plants around. I don't know that it would completely die, but I feel like the capabilities would be significantly reduced.
Like, a lot of power outages and shit.
Yeah.
The rural counties would get fucked.
Well, what would happen is the rich people would have power and the poor people wouldn't, because all the smaller power plants that are, like, a lot of them are buying power from the bigger power plant and then reselling it and shit. They're just gonna jack the prices up.
Right.
Like they did like during that big snowstorm that happened last year.
Yeah.
Here in the Midwest, they jacked the price of our fucking natural gas up. Now, I had gotten in at just the right time, right? Where I didn't have to pay a whole lot. Because I didn't use a whole lot. But for like 1 week of natural gas in this house, like when I just moved in, 1 week of natural gas off of the price metric they were going off of costed me $250 fucking dollars. Like, I think my friend Brandon was saying he had a natural gas bill that was in the neighborhood of like $1,400 for the month.
Fucking, I know when Texas lost all their energy or whatever, my homeboy had power for, like, I don't want to exaggerate, probably like 12 hours during that. Homeboy got a $13,000 light bill, and they were like, yeah, you gotta pay this.
I would have been like, yeah, fuck you. Turn it off.
That's
Oh
pretty much
shit,
what he's like.
we hella be giving them fucking power.
Just think about if they made us mad, how badly we could fuck them by flipping the switch.
Or wait,
Like-
did they give us power?
Like right in the middle of the winter.
Trying to understand what this is saying.
Okay, send it to me and I'll look at it.
Okay. Fucking good luck.
I might have better luck than you. Who knows?
You know what? You're probably fucking right.
I have to have this on my main monitor. Oh, this is a lot of shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
This
I
is
can't tell that.
This is like 40 pages.
I know. That's why I said good fucking luck. See, it seems everything I'm reading. It actually seems like we buy energy from them.
Said it's probably that way.
like look at that. There's that one I just sent you too. That one fucking pretty much says that we mostly buy from them.
Okay, maybe we need to annex them.
Hold on. Here's the one you need to read right here. This one maps, literally in the title, maps this shit out. This very last one, I'm about to send it right now. Okay, I just sent it. The very last one literally maps the fucking energy relationship we have with Canada.
This is showing things being relatively equal or close to, from how I'm interpreting it.
My brain hurts trying to interpret it, so I'll go off of what you're saying.
Now, this begs further research, but
I'm not big brain enough for that shit.
so another thing I was wondering about and wanting to get a little feedback on, for the Kekfest, for the old clips, I thought about either putting them in best ofs and compiling episodes with like a bunch of good shit packed into like a 4-hour long thing.
It's just fucking 4 hours of just bangers.
Yeah, or I thought about taking like a specific segment and giving it its own episode.
In what form? Like,
And like naming it after the thing that we talked about during that segment.
it's basically like if we have enough fucking minutes of like a certain subject.
Yeah, like if it went on for like 15 or 20 minutes or whatever, or maybe if it went on longer than 5, maybe it gets its own episode if it was funny enough. Like, an example, fucking 2.0's kidney stones.
Gotcha.
That it could probably be legit just named 2.0's kidney stones. And then the description would be like 2.0 talks about his experience with kidney stones or something. Or the opening segment of the last Kekfest would be named Thanks for Nothing. Where I go to the DMV and I'm told to fuck off. And I'm like, thanks for nothing. And I go to get a COVID test and I'm told to fuck off. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for nothing. Because that's like a reoccurring theme. And so right now I'm in the position of trying to decide if it's better to do that or if it's better to do like an episodic thing with best of clips like all mashed together. Like, on one hand, the best ofs gives people more of a like a bulk serving of stuff to listen to. On the other hand, having certain noteworthy segments get their own episodes when we upload to Spotify, may potentially make things easier to find when we want to refer to it later.
True. The only problem I see with that, though, is just that we're going to have to sit there and fucking,
I'm the one doing the editing. You're not going to have to sit there.
Well, sit there and edit, but also, like, you're going to have to provide some context. If you just, like, start a fucking episode off with you just go right into the middle of a rant, nobody's going to fucking understand anything for a minute. Like, you got to fucking start everything off with, like, fucking some form of a, basically, like, something like a, hey, fucking, we were in the middle of a Kekfest, fucking, and this story came up, this is how it fucking came up. You got to fucking provide some backstory a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's shit to add a little bit of backstory. But I got to hop off here. I got to be up for work in, like, 5 hours.
And you're like, oh, yeah. You're like, oh, yeah, the later the better.
No. That was Quack saying the later the better. I said the earlier the better.
I thought it was Quack that said the earlier the better.
No, it was me.
That was definitely.
I got work at 5 a.m. I need to do it early.
Alright,
well, I'm out.
Fuck off. Bye.
Alright, peace.
I mean, like, I could write a text description in there on Spotify. I can put some backstory in there. I could record something for, like, I don't know, 30 seconds before and edit that in there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I could do stuff like that. There's some stuff I was listening to that doesn't really, you know, require backstory to be good, though. Like, there's some stuff that I felt like I could have just uploaded and been good with it.
Well, I'm sure there will be stuff that is like that, but I'm just saying, like, some things you may need to, like, edit a fucking, like, you know, not part of the original fucking thing in the beginning where you fucking maybe explain a little bit of what was going on.
Yeah, that isn't hard. That isn't hard to do, though. That's kind of trivial, you know?
Like, for instance, the fucking very first one where fucking me and Tori went back and forth, there's some context needed to be said about that.
Yeah, y'all fucking hated each other. That's the context.
Oh, I'm just saying.
Huh?
But that would need to be added for somebody who doesn't know anything about us.
I could just put bitter enemies in the title. Oh, man.
Yeah, if she doesn't fucking sue our ass for uploading it without her permission.
She can't. Like, her permission was already implied when she came on the stream. Like, it was already uploaded. But I don't know that that's going to be in the first thing that I put on there anyways. So I don't think she'll sue us.
No, honestly, the only person I'd ever worry about doing that would maybe be Darren. Oh, shit.
I forgot about him for a while.
Oh, shit.
What?
Did we cover the Alec Baldwin thing?
What?
Have we covered? Was that in the? Hold on, I gotta check material real quick.
If it was a death, I decided I wasn't going to cover it.
No, this would have been. Yep. Okay, dude, check this out. You know who Alec Baldwin is, right? The actor.
That guy who fucking played as was it that dude that played in Blue Bloods? I think.
No, that's Tom Selleck.
Oh.
No, Alec Baldwin. He was on fucking 30 Rock. He was SNL.
I know they made fun of him on South Park.
Fuck, what else was he on?
They dropped bombs on his house in Bigger, Longer, and Uncut.
I'm trying to fucking see what he was in.
He's like, "Ha, you missed me!" And then the last bomb hit him.
Let's see, he was in Beetlejuice. He was in The Hunt for Red October.
Wait, was he the guy that played as the main character in The Hunt for Red October?
He was Jack Ryan Sr.
Okay, yeah, he was the dude who played as... Okay. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yeah, okay. So, fucking, this is some shit that's fucking recent. 3 hours ago. Not even 3 hours ago. Alec Baldwin fired a prop firearm on set near Santa Fe, killing the film's director of photography and wounding its director.
It was a prop gun?
It was a prop firearm. The Santa Fe County Sheriff Office said the incident was reported Thursday on the set of the film Rust, which is in production at the Bonanza Creek Ranch.
Help me understand this. It was a prop firearm, right?
Correct.
Like, not a real gun?
Yes, as in not a real gun, as in a prop firearm.
Okay.
Or potentially a real gun that should have been loaded with blanks.
Okay. So how did this whole thing transpire?
Okay. It says Halnya Hutchins, 42, director of photography, and Joel Souza, 48, director, were shot when a prop firearm was discharged by Alec Baldwin, 68, producer and actor. Miss Hutchins was transported via helicopter to University of New Mexico Hospital, where she was pronounced dead by medical personnel. Mr. Souza was transported by ambulance to Christus St. Vincent Regional Medical Center, where he is undergoing treatment for his injuries. The sheriff's office said no charges have been filed, but the investigation remains open and active. Witness interviews are continuing. So right now, there's no official report as to what the fuck happened. Just that 2 people are dead, and Alec Baldwin is the person that shot the fucking gun.
I mean, people have been killed by blank shooters before, but usually that's when you're at, like, point blank range. But 2 people getting killed?
No, 1 person killed, 1 injured.
You just said 2 of them were killed.
No, it was 1 injured, 1 killed. He killed the he killed the director of photography and wounded the director. One of them is still undergoing treatment for the injuries. The director is still, like, undergoing treatment. So he's still in the hospital. And then the fucking director of photography, the woman, was pronounced dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions I have that won't be answered until way later. Oh, well, I think that's probably going to bring an end to this Kekfest. I do plan on streaming more in the future. I'm just trying to get back in the groove of things right now, and apparently I'm gonna have to rebuild my OBS. So that sucks. Whatever. Anyways, I will see you all on the next Kekfest. Till then, peace out. Fuck off. Still planning on getting on Spotify. I just need to get some dickhead to do an album cover for me. So, if you know anybody who's talented at fucking video, photo, whatever, editing, logo shit, like, tell them to hit me up. I'll pay good money. Until then, I will see you all the next time. Subscribe and whatever if you haven't. Like, stay looking out. And yeah. Peace, bitches. Goodbye.